Welcome back to the channel. This is Trinity Storm and you're watching first part of What If Naruto Was Descendant of Alucard. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Now wasting no more time, let's start the story.
In partnership with Naruto. 12. Year. Old Naruto Uzumaki was sitting in a little clearing at the end of the night, with a little shack behind him. He had spiky blonde hair, deep sea blue eyes, 3 whisker like marks mirrored on each cheek, and he stood at around 4 feet 10 inches. He was wearing a bright orange jumpsuit. The infamous Forbidden Scroll lies before him. He was asked to obtain the scroll by his sensei Mizuki in order to advance to genin status. He studied Shadow Clone Jutsu, Exploding Clone, and Shuriken Clone Jutsus after obtaining the scroll more than an hour ago. Before Mizuki appeared, 2 more hours would pass, allowing Naruto to pass. Despite what the majority of the villagers thought, Naruto was neither stupid nor dim. When that bastard wasn't staring at the clouds or taking naps, he was actually nearly as intelligent as Shikamaru. In order to prevent the bastards on the council from making his life more difficult, he held back. Naruto's true skills were in practical application rather than theory and history. He was certainly book smart, but he also learned things that would make the snake mistress blush as a child and became street smart as well. In addition, Naruto possessed the abilities of a mid-jonin, the chakra control of a high genin, and the skills of a low-level chunin. I'm not sure what to do. Before Mizuki Sensei arrives, I have some time, and I'm sure I won't be able to accomplish anything beyond what I've already learned. As he continued to unravel the scroll, Naruto exclaimed, "What the hell?" He was about to give up when he noticed a tiny pulse coming from a seal he had missed. That appeared to be a coat of arms. The words, "We are on a mission from God," were written in black in the upper left corner, and the lower right held a gold surrounded rook from the classic board game, chess. Odd. Naruto asked himself, why did I feel this pulse of power rush over me when I look at this thing? Naruto stopped thinking about it because the call became too loud to ignore. Naruto swept his thumb across the coat of arms, biting it on his unusually large K9s. 4 objects emerged. 2 peculiar weapons, a large envelope sealed with an odd design on the back and bearing the coat of arms stamped on the front. With the exception of color, they are identical. The length of both weapons was 15.21 inches. One was pure black and rather intimidating, while the one on the right was polished silver with Hellsing engraved on it. They both seemed to have handles and other different parts that Naruto was still learning about. After spending the better part of an hour studying the unusual weapons, Naruto packed them, the envelope, and the photo into a backpack that he carried with him. Naruto took another look at the scroll and noticed a few basic words that he would come to understand as true. It is the time for the House of Hellsing and the most powerful vampire's heir to emerge. In the thoughts of Naruto, Kyuubi was startled out of her sleep by an overwhelming force. Glancing around, she smelled something that not even demons could resist without fearing for their lives. "Not just any vampire, but you!" exclaimed Kyuubi as she rose. "Ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. I'm not here to start a fight, Kyuubi, but it's been a while. I'm here to make a small deal," a shadowy figure said. Kyuubi, a stiff smirk on her lips, said, "Speak before I lose my temper, Alucard of Hellsing, or should I say Dracula? I'm delighted you recall me, Kyuubi, or should I address you by your true name, Yoko?" The man who was previously known as Alucard laughed and bowing said. "Return outside." Iruka leapt out of a tree as Naruto was about to close the scroll. He had an angry expression. Iruka was viewed by Naruto as an elder brother or father. When Naruto was 8 years old, Iruka even made the offer to adopt him, but the council rejected it, claiming that Iruka was unprepared to take on parental duties. In actuality, they didn't want Naruto to be content, despite the fact that he occasionally stayed with Iruka. "You dumb ass, Naruto. You stole the scroll, but why? Do you have any idea how much trouble this stunt you just pulled will get you in the future?" asked Iruka in a tone that made it obvious that she was disappointed and enraged. Naruto was perplexed now. "Iruka. Sensei, I thought that if I learned one jutsu, I could become a genin," Naruto remarked, glaring at Iruka. Iruka made Naruto's eyes wide as he said, "It would be another 2 mows before you could even try the test again." "Oh no. I was a fool when I walked into it, and that bastard Mizuki took advantage of my desire to become a genin. I shouldn't have allowed my ambition to become a genin to override my common sense, Naruto said, drawing a powerful shuriken flow toward himself. As Mizuki readied the shuriken to be thrown at one of the few individuals he could truly call family, Naruto watched. After learning about the Kyuubi, he found it difficult to move as much as he had wanted to. You're correct regarding monsters, but Naruto isn't one. He is the most diligent student I have. Someone who would murder me before he would admit defeat. I would be most honored to call him my brother or son. That's how much I love him, that he's still him in spite of what bastards like you do. He's Naruto Uzumaki from the village concealed in the leaves, Iruka declared, grinning with pride. When Mizuki heard this, she turned red. Spare me the drama, my fellow. The little fox bastard is going to die after I kill you. Mizuki charged Iruka. At the sight of Iruka being attacked, Naruto felt everything around him freeze. Although he knew that helping Iruka would only get him killed in his current state, he still wanted to help. The closest person to him was going to pass away, and he felt so helpless to be standing by and observing. Hum. You aren't a typical human, so you knew it's kind of funny to watch people as they are. Far from it, a loud voice echoed in Naruto's thoughts. Naruto asked, "Are you the Kyuubi?" His only reaction was to burst out laughing in his head. I'm sorry to disappoint, but that demon bitch is not who I am. No, I am your forefather. The voice said, I'm just here for a few minutes to tell you to get off your ass and protect that man. But Naruto was interrupted as he began to speak. Young one, fear is a powerful motivator. Prove to Mizuki that you have no fear at all. Combat Naruto Uzumaki Hellsing by moving. Before fading, the voice exclaimed, Awaken. After shutting for a few minutes, Naruto's eyes suddenly opened and turned a vibrant red color. Reaching into his backpack, Naruto took out the two weapons he called guns, and managed to make work somehow. He aimed them both at Mizuki and squeezed the triggers. The impact happened right away. Mizuki's large shuriken broke in his hand, striking his right shoulder. Mizuki whirled around, glaring at the source of the gunfire. Recognizing Naruto. So Kyuubi, you wanted to give me a fight? Not important. Even with your black arts, you're still not at your full potential, Mizuki said, picking up the other shuriken. Crossing them, Naruto held the guns up. You bastard, there is no Kyuubi here. With your head in your arms, I'll send you to hell. As I damn you to the depths of hell for your transgressions, keep my name in mind. My name is Naruto Uzumaki Hellsing, Naruto yelled while launching two bullets. Mizuki was struck by one in the left side of his face, and by another in his right kneecap, almost rupturing it. Mizuki screamed as she fell to the ground. Then Naruto turned to face an astonished Iruka. Iruka gazed upon Naruto with a mixture of fear and amazement. Even though he claimed that Kyuubi was not in control, Naruto's eyes changed from red to a dull purple to sea blue, and the fear that shot through him didn't go away. Then Naruto positioned the two weapons by his sides. How are you doing? Iruka. Sen. Oni. San, Naruto said, causing Iruka to grin. Hi, Naruto. San. Shut your eyes for a brief moment. Up until Iruka told him to open his eyes, Naruto followed instructions. When he did, he discovered that Iruka was grinning and holding his goggles. Well done, Naruto. Kun. It's officially you're a genin. Iruka grinned and remarked, I'm proud of you. Unable to resist, Naruto leapt into the air. Saying, thank you, Iruka. Oni-san, Naruto hugged Iruka. In the office of the Hokage. Sasuke Sarutobi had just sent Iruka, Naruto, and the scroll, along with Mizuki, to be retrieved by his most trusted Anbu. Their two main concerns are Naruto and Iruka. The lights went out, a woman entered, and he snapped out of his reverie. Her stature was approximately 5 feet 6, with blonde hair that hung down to her neck, a radiant face, crimson eyes, and a massive bust measuring about a D. Cup. She was dressed in a black form. Fitting, sleeveless shirt, long black gloves that reached her biceps, a black skirt that ended at her mid thigh, black boots that ended just above her knee, a small blue scarf around her shoulders, and a sleeveless white jacket. Miss, how may I help you? Sarutobi asked. It's Victoria. Salutations, Victoria. I have one person in mind. Naruto Uzumaki Hellsing, Sarah spoke with a slight accent that gave the impression that she was speaking foreign language. Why Victoria? San, would that be the case? It is well known that this woman does not particularly enjoy Naruto, remarked Sarutobi, getting ready to strike if she ever threatened Naruto. Saras's eyes glowed scarlet as the Hokage was placed in a mild trance. Alright, Hokage. Sama, or Sarutobi, as I should say. That's how I keep things secret. All you know is that you have a very skilled and formidable shinobi named Sarah's Victoria, a Jonin who has been wishing for a team for a little more than a year since she turned 18. In addition, she appears in Rock's bingo book, having eliminated a powerful arms dealer who had aided them in the previous conflict. An A. Ranked threat known as the Vampire due to her affinity for blood, declared Sarah's prior to departing. There's going to be a new Hellsing group soon, Sarah's thought. While Iruka was taken to the hospital to receive treatment for his wounds, Naruto sat in the Hokage's office. Sarutobi struck up a little puff on his pipe. Naruto was aware that Sarutobi was in lecture mode when he did that. First of all, Naruto, I would like to congratulate you on not only becoming a genin, but getting it on a field promotion. I must say it's been a few years since one was given. The last one given out was to the 4th Hokage, Sarutobi said with Naruto's eyes widening. Next up, I'd also like to tell you that you completed 2 missions. Exposing a traitor and protecting village secrets. The first being a mid-B ranked mission and the second being a high S ranked mission. You will be paid the mission pay for both, which comes to just over 340,000 Ryu, said Sarutobi while widening Naruto's eyes. After calming down, Naruto turned to face Sarutobi. Naruto asked, recalling the voice he heard in his head and the sense of power it held. Excuse me, old man, but can you tell me about the seal that said Hellsing? When Sarutobi heard that name, his eyes widened. Naruto, the House of Hellsing is older than any clan in this village. In fact, it predates most of the hidden villages, the oldest being the village hidden in the cloud. Them going back to just over 300 years ago. All I know is that the head of house at the time had something sealed into the scroll, and we assumed that only the heir of Hellsing could release it. Why? Sarutobi asked as Naruto retrieved one of his weapons. I believe I am the Hellsing family's heir, Naruto said, startling the Hokage with a surprising smile. Sarutobi took a drag from his pipe and thought, this kid is going to give me a heart attack one day, and I haven't even finished the first Come Paradise book set yet. Then you are the head of the noblest family in Konoha at this moment in time. The council will have to be informed of this right away, Sarutobi uttered, feeling anxious about the inevitable paperwork that would follow. Do we need to let those pricks know? Naruto questioned, crossing his arms. As much as I hate to say it, they must be informed of your family status. It may cause us problems if no one knows, and the civilian council will want your clan up and running. Also, the academy starts on up again in a week, so be there on time to find out who's on your team, said Sarutobi as he examined some paperwork. Naruto smiled. You knew me, old man, Naruto remarked as he left. I'm concerned about that, Sarutobi remarked as he took another puff on his pipe. The home of Naruto. Upon entering his apartment building, Naruto grinned. About a year after Naruto moved in, the previous owner passed away. Other than a kind woman who was a retired shinobi and enjoyed Naruto, not many people stayed after that. Sarutobi was convinced by Naruto to go there, or else his wife would discover his little orange book collection hidden behind his picture. Naruto resided in the 5th floor penthouse, despite the apartment's blue color. He knocked in a couple of walls, and it took up most of the top floor. His penthouse's walls were the same shade of sea blue as his eyes. There was a long black couch on the far wall, a roundabout couch by the door, and a bar he had set up closer to the hallway that led to his room. Having the kitchen adjacent to the bar was also helpful. He entered his room after walking down the hall. His room was pretty standard. His walls were blue, he had a small desk with notes on it, a 5-shelf bookcase filled with books and scrolls, a king-sized bed with red sheets, and a few formal kimonos in his closet. His room was normal except for the mass of pink hair that rested in his bed. Naruto approached the clump of pink hair and gave it a light shake. Naruto grinned and said, I'm all for sleeping, but you got to get up, Sakura. Chan. Sakura rubbed the sand from her green eyes and sat up, yawning. The only clothing she wore was a white sports bra and black underwear. She was a 4 feet 10 inches shapely woman with B-cup breasts and pink hair that fell to the middle of her back. Despite popular belief, Sakura and Naruto were not blood siblings. "Good morning, Naruto." "Kun," Sakura grinned. "Salutations, Sakura." "Chan." "An easy evening?" questioned Naruto, planting a kiss on the crown of her head. "My mother had 3 clients over last night," Sakura snorted. "I was asked if I could work by one of them. After she got her money and fuck in, she consented to let him try me." Sakura smacked her head. "Sometimes I wonder why I was born form that whore Haruno." Sakura. "Chan, don't worry about it. You can move out of her place and rent an apartment from me now that we're genin," grinned Naruto. "So you made it, huh?" Sakura exclaimed as she stood up and removed her sports bra, completely unaffected by Naruto's glance, before grabbing a pink shirt and pulling it on. "Yes, and let me know the next time that you're changing so I can move on. You will always be my baby sister in my mind. In any case, we can now abandon the acts and genjutsus." Sakura leapt with delight when Naruto said, "We can be real. At last. You have no idea how painful it is to play one of Sasuke. To me's devoted little whores. I detested it." Sakura remarked, "I'm just relieved he never wanted to try anything." Hum. I understood what you were saying. You really got me, girl. But why do you look at Ino like that?" Sakura grinned as Naruto grinned. "Whatever? I want to screw Ino's minds. You're aware of that much, Naruto." "Kun," Sakura remarked, grinning deviously. "Yes." As Sakura put on some blue jeans and used genjutsu to cover her breasts, Naruto said, "Anyway, you'd better get before that slew. I mean your mother starts to worry about her little girl." Sakura said, later, as she locked the door and left. After taking off his backpack, Naruto pulled out the envelope in the photo, which showed 5 people, an elderly man with a scar on his face and a bald head. He was wearing a green uniform with the Hellsing coat of arms on his front. A girl who looked 19 with red eyes wearing a blue uniform. A woman who looked to be in her late 20s with long blonde hair, blue eyes, and a green suit with a blue tie and a sliver cross on it. And a man who easily looked 6 feet 6 inches with black hair, gray suit, white gloves, a large red overcoat, and strange yellow glasses. The last individual was a man with a full head of black hair who appeared to be in his 50s. He was dressed in gray pants, a black vest, a red tie, a white button-up shirt, and black gloves. After setting the photo aside, Naruto unfolded the envelope. One of the stapled letters slipped out. "Greetings, Descendant. Integra Winget's Hellsing is my name. Consider me your ancestor's grandmother. Since I've always been a straight shooter, I'll just get right to the point with you. You should only be able to read this because you are the last living Hellsing who is capable of procreating. You are the offspring of Alucard, whose true name is Dracula, as well as myself. I'm the woman with the blue eyes and blonde hair in the picture. You should be able to identify who I am. In the photo, Alucard is the tallest. The mantle of Lord Hellsing is yours, child. You are a child with 2 noble and powerful bloods coursing through you. Use that power to defeat all adversaries in the name of God. Child, take heed of my blessings. Hellsing, Integra Wingets. P.S. I've let go of a blood seal that contains a significant amount of cash and the designs for Alucard's defenses and molds for your new weapons." Naruto took a seat, read the letter, and thought about what was said. Naruto said, "I'm of noble blood, huh? Guess I'll have to train harder to make sure I don't insult the family name," as he fell into bed. Before closing his eyes and falling asleep, Naruto raised his head to the ceiling. From Naruto's perspective, Naruto nodded off and Yoko let out a sigh. She had been waiting for him to take that action so that she could change his body as she and Alucard had decided. She transitioned from her enormous fox form to a more practical one. At 5 feet 7, she appeared to be about 16 years old, with long red hair and red eyes. Her figure was slender, with 9 red tails moving around her. She was dressed in tight black pants and a black tube top with a red button shirt over it. As she began to tamper with his jeans, Yoko exclaimed, "Better get started with Naruto." Kun. The following morning, when Naruto woke up and heard the shower running, he felt as good as a horse running free in the wild. Sakura. Chan must be here, he reasoned as he entered the bathroom without knocking. Sakura shrieked when she heard the door open and saw the stranger walk into the bathroom. She grabbed a kunai that Naruto had left on the wall in case someone tried to attack while the person was showering, turned off the water, and threw herself at the man, pinning him to the ground with her body and the kunai at his throat. "Where is Naruto? Kun, and who are you?" With a deadly tone and matching emerald eyes, Sakura questioned. "Sakura, what the devil are you talking about?" "Hello, I'm Naruto," he said, giving her an odd look. Sakura said, pressing the kunai further. "Prove it." "Alright. I gave you the nickname Blossom because of your ability to use seeds rather than wood-style jutsu. You are Sakura Uzumaki because you refuse to use the last name of your whore of a mother. You love Ino Yamanaka and want to screw her up," Naruto remarked. Sakura said, "It really is you, Naruto. Kun," as her eyes grew wide. "Not that I mind a necked girl sitting on my lap, but I'd rather it not be my little sister," smiled Naruto as Sakura stood up. "Do you not have the decency to blush, woman? Naruto is not cool. You've seen me do things with my fingers more than once, and I've seen you do things with that cock that would make porn stars envious. Naruto. Kun, we've gone way past our breaking point when it comes to each other," Sakura remarked, acting as though this was a common occurrence. Naruto grabbed a towel and handed it to Sakura, saying, "So put a towel on at least." "Have you gotten shorter, Sakura?" Gesturing at Sakura, Naruto inquired. "No, you've changed slightly and grown larger. Observe yourself in the mirror to understand what I mean," Sakura remarked as she put on the towel. Upon seeing what Sakura saw in the mirror, Naruto realized why Sakura appeared so short. Standing at a solid 6 feet, he no longer looked 13 but 17. His muscles were more toned, and a six-pack was visible. His hair had changed from being spiky to being flat, with a black bang hanging in the middle. The biggest surprise was that his eyes had turned from blue to a deep purple. Naruto grinned as he left the bathroom, grabbing a shirt and his backpack. Saying, "I'm going to see what these new body can do," Naruto left. "Naruto, hold on, what if someone questions you about your new body?" As Sakura reached for some clothes, she asked, casting a glance at her brother. Naruto said, "I'll just tell them I was under a genjutsu to hide my Tourei body and my bloodline," as he left. Training area. After setting down his backpack and entering the training field, Naruto felt like someone was watching him as he jumped into the air, realizing that his power had increased significantly. Hum. Naruto exclaimed, "I feel so much stronger than I was before." The voice said, "That's because I fixed you up, Naruto." Kun, out of nowhere. Naruto exclaimed, "What the?" before momentarily going dark. In Naruto's thoughts. When Naruto opened his eyes, he saw that he was in a small clearing with a woman sitting there with a seductive smile on her lips that made him feel as stiff as a tree. "Hi there, Naruto. Kun. I'm Yoko, or Kyubi as your people call me," Kyubi said, striking a seductive pose for Naruto. "If you're the Kyubi, then screw me," grinned Naruto. "Perhaps afterwards. After finishing my handiwork, I do enjoy tasting it. Now that I've unlocked your new abilities, I brought you here to tell you about them. You've gained about 10 times your strength and accelerated regeneration compared to before. Although you can't be killed, anything less than having your head chopped off will still cause excruciating pain. I've eliminated your race's previous weaknesses," Kyubi smirked. "What flaws does Yoko-chan have?" Kyubi liked that he was using her name because she meant for him to complain about it later. Asked Naruto, who was standing opposite her. "Holy relics and water render me helpless. Garlic, the sun, and a worst of all of the urge to consume blood weaken me. It's well known that vampires were more difficult to defeat than demons, but their greatest vulnerability was their dependence on human blood. Though you won't have to, you can still feed," Naruto remarked. "Alright. Regards, Yoko-chan." As he was about to leave, Naruto noticed a hungry kiss on his lips and said, "I'll see you later. Please return soon. This place gets very lonely, especially when I'm going through my annual mating cycle." As Naruto disappeared, Kyubi remarked, "I'm sure you can put that big cock of yours to real good use." The actual world. With a shit-eating smile, Naruto opened his eyes and said, "Horny and sexy ass vixen. I'll have to accept her offer. It's time to start training," uttered Naruto, who had begun to strike out without realizing who was watching. "I'll give you a lot more strength even though you're not a master." Lord Hellsing, but Ceres was hiding in the shadows and observing Naruto train. 1 week later. The new genins had a slow week, but by the end of it, everyone was prepared to go. The only person still absent was one. Kiba approached Ino and said, "Where's Sakura at, Ino?" Asked Kiba. Sakura may be flat cheated, but she still has ass and legs, believed Kiba. I don't really care where my forehead is. It probably fell out with the dobi. As long as I have my Sasuke. Kun, that's all that matters, Ino uttered as a dark portal materialized in the middle of the space. A voice from the portal said, "We haven't gone anywhere, Ino," which almost made everyone piss themselves. A pair of individuals emerged. Sakura was one, albeit with a different outfit. The most striking feature was that her breasts could rival Hinata's, being larger than Ino's. Her outfit consisted of a pink tank top, a long black coat with the Hellsing coat of arms sewn into the left breast pocket, tight black pants with a small belt hanging down from her waist, black shoes, long black gloves that ended at her elbow, and a headband wrapped around her neck resembling a bandana. On the other hand, they had never met this individual before. He was quite tall. He was taller than Iruka and had a wide crimson hat that hid most of his hair, though you could still see hints of red, black, and golden blonde. He had yellow glasses covering his eyes, a dark blue button. Upshirt, a black vest hidden by a red overcoat, black shinobi pants, black shinobi boots, and black gloves with a wired star on them. A headband wrapped around his forehead was barely visible. Sasuke inquired, "Who the hell are you two?" Both figures smiled. Prior to facing everyone, Sakura shocked many and made Sasuke second. Guess himself when she said, "Sakura Uzumaki Hellsing, little sister of Naruto Uzumaki Hellsing and the sexiest lady after Anko, formerly known as Sakura Haruno. Damn, she's hot with all that black on. I want her to bear my first child and next head of the great Uchiha clan," said Sasuke. If only she was in heat, Kiba, feeling lustful, thought to herself. An enraged Ino thought, "Look at her trying to steal my Sasuke." Kun. Choji questioned, "Wait, if you're Sakura, then who the hell are you?" The man smiled. Naruto said, "I'm disappointed in you, Choji old buddy. I'm the head of the most noble house of Hellsing. Lord Naruto Uzumaki Hellsing," as he bowed, smashed a glass, and hit a few girls so hard they bled. Damn, and I thought Kurenai San was bad. Your bad brother, Sakura grinned. In the classroom of Iruka. As everyone stared at Naruto, they were all in shock. That man in front of them was not a dobi. Rather, he was a strong man. Sakura also took them by surprise. She had a killer appearance that could have rivaled the attractiveness of both cute little Hinata and Ino. Shino stood up and said, "Prove that you're Naruto," causing everyone to gasp. Naruto gestured to the clone, "Come now, Shino. San, you knew that I was holding back and still am holding back, but if you insist, Shino. San. Clone jutsu." The clone performed poorly. Sakura remarked, "See, you shouldn't doubt my big brother Ino," as Ino lunged toward Naruto brandishing a kunai. With a fierce expression, "You bastard, what have you done to Sakura?" Ino charged like a savage. Naruto smiled and said, "Sakura-chan, be a dear, would you and stop Ino?" Naruto. "Kun, you owe me later." "You knew this would be sufficient payment," Sakura uttered as she pried the kunai from Ino's grasp and pinned her against the wall. "Sakura, what the hell?" Ino exclaimed as he struggled to break free, only to have Sakura shove him roughly. Sakura gave Ino a hungrily glaring look. Sakura felt Ino's nipples getting hard and said, "This is how I really am, Ino. Chan. Always have been this way, always will be this way. I hate my mother and Naruto's been like a brother to me for years now." Sakura grabbed one of Ino's hands and began to knead her left breast, saying, "Oh my Ino, is this turning you on? Being dominated by another female so badly." Sakura gave Ino a full mouth kiss before pulling away and giving her a gentle kiss on the back of her neck. S. Sakura, stop, it place. Please S. Saw. Kura, Ino moaned. Though Ino would never acknowledge it, she was really enjoying this. "Oh Ino. Chan, you're getting wet," Sakura said, putting her hand under Ino's skirt and then down her breast. Sakura began to lightly tap Ino's fingers. Sakura grinned and kissed Ino's neck once more. "What's wrong, Ino? Chan? Going crazy from all the pint up desire you have for me? All you have to do is say Sakura. Sama, please fuck me because I'm your loyal little bitch," Sakura said. Ino was whimpering and panting a little. Just as Ino was about to finish, Naruto appeared next to Sakura, saying, "Sakura. Sama, please fuck me like. You can play with Ino. Chan later. Iruka will be in the room in a few minutes," Naruto said. Sakura let Ino go and took her hand out from under her skirt, causing Ino's knees to buckle. "Why did you have to ruin my fun, brother?" Sakura asked. Then, Sakura leaned over and protruded her tongue into Ino's mouth before grinning and pulling away. Sakura waved her hand to conclude, "We'll finish this another day, Ino." Chan. Everyone was shocked all over again. Although Sakura's kiss with Ino was intense, what Sakura did to Ino was extremely sensual. A number of boys and a single Hyuga woman had bloody noses. Said Hyuga was picturing the girl with the pink hair and the two blondes as a foursome. Just as Shikamaru was assisting Ino to return to her seat, Iruka entered a silent classroom. Strange. Alright, let's move on to teams since I'm sure you don't want to hear the speech about having a responsibility to your village. There are 6 random teams. Iruka said. Many of the fangirls moaned at this. And finally, Naruto Uzumaki Hellsing. Team 7 will be Kiba Inuzuka, Sasuke Uchiha, and Sakura Haruno. Some random whore fangirl said, "Wait, why do they get an extra member that's not me?" Balance. Only 30 people were to graduate, but Naruto makes 31 so we had to put him somewhere, Iruka replied. With the exception of Kiba, Naruto, and Sakura, everyone left. Team 8 will be Hinata Hyuga, Shino Aburama, and Sai. Team 9 is random. Team 10 will be Ino. Shika. Cho. Your senseis will be here after lunch, Iruka declared. Sakura approached Kiba and gave him a peck on the cheek. Sakura said, "Hello Kiba. Kun," as Akamaru leapt into her arms. "Damn Sakura. I knew you were sexy under that genjutsu, but just looking at you is making me want to find the nearest girl in heat," Kiba said with a grin. "Kiba, you should have known better than to flirt with my sister," chuckled Naruto as he sat down above Kiba. "I can't help myself, especially after the shit she did with Ino a few minutes ago," Kiba complained. They all started laughing at once. Kiba was amazed by Naruto's new attire and questioned, "So what with the new threads, Naruto?" "As I mentioned, I've embraced my heritage and bloodline. I've grown much stronger than I was previously." Kiba leaned back and gave Naruto a head scratch. Even though Kiba lacked the intelligence of Sakura or Naruto, he was still intelligent. "Watch out for the council then. I have a feeling you're going to a council meeting soon," stated Kiba. "We already figured that out, Kiba, but with brother's status that won't matter. He has more influence over Fire Country than any of the 4 Fire Lords," Sakura said while massaging Akamaru's ears. Kiba laughed with his 2 friends, "Ha. You two should have won trophies for your acting skills over the years." Yes. Kiba, I know you're not up to our level, maybe mid-genin, so be extreme careful when we're out on the field. I don't want to be saving your sorry ass all the time, Naruto replied. As the bell rang, Kiba responded, "Right." Even though Ino and her group had returned earlier than everyone else, she quickly looked away from Sakura to avoid meeting her famished eyes. Each and every student came back in a flash. Not even 30 seconds had passed when a dashing blonde threw a man with silver hair that defied gravity into the room. The woman put her hands on her hips and said, "Next time I tell you to be on time, you'd better be on bloody time." "Do I make myself clear, Kakashi?" "Crystal. Let's meet on the roof with Team 7, exclaimed Kakashi as the woman continued to poof. Sasuke bolted out the door as Naruto used his portal to seize Kiba and Sakura. Atop the roof. In the brief moment that Kakashi and Sarah's were on the roof, Naruto showed up, carrying Kiba by the hood and carrying Sakura on his back. It took Sasuke an additional 5 minutes to seem exhausted. "Right now that you are all here, I want you to give me your names, likes, dislikes, hobbies and dreams for the future," the woman replied. Declaring her your first lady, Sasuke eyed her as if she were a piece of meat in front of a famished dog. Bloody pig. Alright. I'm Sarah's Victoria, my likes are training, the dark, and singing. I dislike argent bastards who think they are the shit, and my hobbies are singing and hanging out with my friends. My dream is to one day have a family, Sarah's finished softly. My name is Kakashi Hatake. My likes and dislikes are none of your concern, my hobbies I have lots. My dream for the future. Haven't really thought about it, replied Kakashi. Okay, then. Dog. Boy and pup, Sarah's uttered. My name is Kiba and this is my partner Akamaru. Our likes are training and going on walks. I dislike Sasuke. Teme here, and my hobbies are walking and looking for girls in heat. My dream is to become a strong clan head if my sister does not, stated Kiba. Traditional Inzuka, Kakashi thought. Well, Pinky, Kakashi replied. A Haruno. I always thought they turned into whores around their 13th birthdays? Kakashi reflected. My name is Sakura Uzumaki Hellsing. My likes are my elder brother and plants. I dislike the Uchiha and my mother who is a member of the council. My hobbies are hanging with my brother and training with him. My dream is to help my brother become the most powerful person in the world and have the person of my dreams on my arm, said Sakura with a grin. So she wishes to help the young master. I like her already, Sarah's reflected. Kakashi suppressed a laugh and said, that's Councilman Haruno's girl. Damn, I need to get her for some entertainment tonight. You Uchiha spec now, pointed at Sasuke by Kakashi. My name is Sasuke Uchiha, and I hate all of my fangirls except Sakura, who will help my clan survive. My dream my ambition is to kill a certain man, Sasuke said, only to have Naruto, sporting a scowl, strike him in the face. It would have been rude to stop you in the middle of your speech, but next time you talk about my sister like you own her I'll kill you, said Naruto as he raised his fist. Sarah said, okay, you spec, Lord Hellsing. You already know my last name, which is interesting. My name is Naruto Uzumaki Hellsing. I enjoy training, hanging out with my sister and reading. I have big dreams of becoming Hokage and reviving the Hellsing clan and the Hellsing organization. I detest people who treat other people poorly and act as though they own my sister. With a small tear streaming down her cheek, Sarah grinned and said, young master, I'll help you with your dreams. Alright, tomorrow at 5 a.m., everyone meets at Training Ground 7. For the test to determine whether or not you are a genin. Oh, and don't eat breakfast, Kakashi uttered while being seized by Sarah's. Kakashi, you better be on bloody time or else, Sarah said, releasing him. Yes, ma'am, Kakashi replied, spluttering. Come Sakura, said Sasuke as he got up and approached her. We need to start now if we want to get the Uchiha back up and running, Sasuke said, reaching out to Sakura only to feel a heel dig into his chest. Sasuke, let's get something started. I detest you deeply and I don't like you at all. If you ever again approach me in that manner, the Uchiha clan will vanish, Sakura uttered venomously. I'll have you. The council will take care of it, declared Sasuke as he left to inform the council. I can now speak with the young lord and his sister now that he's gone. Kiba go, uttered Sarah's. What is it, Sarah's? Sensei? You can speak to Sakura and me about anything you want, even in front of Kiba. I have faith in him, declared Naruto, fixing her intense gaze. Alright, but you have to take off the shades and hat. You bear too much resemblance to Alucard, grinned and crossed her arms Sarah's. Hold on. How are you aware of Alucard's appearance? Asks Naruto, essentially excluding Kiba. I am more than 2,500 years old, Lord Hellsing. I had known Sir Integra and Alucard. She is a woman, before you say anything else. She was a Knight of the Round Table member, which is the only reason why her name ends in Sir. Sworn to keep the queen safe. I had a Master Alucard retainer. He took me in after I had almost died. I had to train for almost 5 years before I could truly call myself a powerful warrior. Around that same period, Sir Integra and Master Alucard tied the knot. During that period, the Hellsing organization expanded and emerged as the strongest entity within Her Majesty's armed forces. I quickly rose to the rank of top commander at Hellsing, directly beneath Sir Integra and Master Alucard. A son and 2 daughters were born to Sir Integra a few years later. After that, everything blew up. Master Alucard was attacked by 2 very strong vampires. Although he killed them, Sir Integra's heart was broken. She made me swear to God that I would protect her family for as long as I was needed when she passed away at the age of 98. You now need me, young master. I have been protecting them from the shadows, Sarah's bowed. No, Sarah's, I don't want to be your master, Naruto said, holding out his hand to Sarah's, who merely glanced at it. I'd like to be friends with you. Naruto grinned and said, I ask you to stand not as a servant, but as my friend Sarah's. You've served my family as a retainer for so long that that's all you knew. As she took his hand and he helped her up, Sarah's nodded and a few tears fell from her eyes. You three had better head home. Remember that you have an exam tomorrow, said Sarah's, who then vanished. Brother, Sakura uttered as Naruto was lost in contemplation. Yes, Sakura, Naruto replied, musing over Sarah's. We should return home now and prepare for the test, Sakura replied. Maybe I'll take her advice and remove the shades and hat, Naruto said, glancing at Sakura before taking off the glasses and hat. There's no way you look like a badass with them on, Kiba remarked, catching Naruto's attention. Which advice is I more likely to follow at that of a 13-year old horny mutt or a 2500-year old vampire goddess? Smirking, Naruto leapt from the roof, Sakura trailing behind. OMG, Naruto! Kiba exclaimed. The following day. When Naruto and Sakura arrived, it was 4:45 a.m. Naruto was wearing his shades but not his hat, and Sasuke and Kiba arrived 5 minutes before 5 o'clock a.m. Before he saw Sakura and Naruto, Kiba appeared to be about to pass out and Sasuke appeared to be as bored as usual. Sakura, Dobi. You are both required to attend a meeting that the council has scheduled for noon. It has to do with your decision not to bear the next Uchiha clan heir, smirked Sasuke. Just as Sasuke was about to attack Naruto, who was growling, 2 puffs of smoke appeared, and Kakashi and Sarah stood poised for combat. It's great that everyone is here. To pass this test, you must take these 2 bells from me before the clock strikes 10 in the morning. 5 hours are up to you. Kakashi removed 2 bells and said, those who don't get the bell will be sent back to the academy. I'm only here to observe. Even though I'm stronger than Kakashi, I still want to watch now. After saying, Sakura. Chan Naruto. Kun, have fun, Sarah's moved to the posts. As Sasuke leapt away and hid, Kakashi said, let's begin. Why aren't you 3 in hiding? As Kakashi scratched his head, he asked. Because we are stronger than Uchiha. Naruto said, Kiba and Sakura have a plan B4. As Akamaru leapt out of his coat, Kiba said, right, adopting his clan's stance. Sakura said, I'm on it, brother, pulling out a tiny dagger that was tucked away in her coat. Alright, now it's your 3 turn to face me. Let's get started, Kakashi said, assuming a slightly defensive posture. Kiba led the charge, Sakura charging after him. Kiba threw a careless punch at Kakashi as he blocked, narrowly missing Sakura's attempt to sever his right leg by slicing between Kiba's open legs. Kiba jumped out of the way, allowing Naruto to charge him. Kakashi kicked Naruto in the gut, but Naruto just grinned. He just said, boom, before exploding and sending Kakashi flying into a tree, where wire encircled his arms. When Kakashi turned to face Naruto, he saw him emerge from underground. These children pose a threat. Kiba possesses strength, Sakura outpaces me in speed, and Naruto is able to use the inner decantation jutsu and explode the shadow clone, indicating that he is familiar with the standard shadow clone. When Kakashi effortlessly slipped out of the wire and discovered that it had cut through his clothes, he thought, I'll have to step my game up. Kakashi-san, I would advise against that. Those wires are more shaped than usual, Sakura remarked, whirling her blade. I also thought that shirt was my fave. I owe you 100 Ryu Hellsing. I believe I will extract it from your hide, Kakashi uttered, scuttling off. Oh no. We nearly had him too, Sakura exclaimed, clenching her hand. Kiba laughed, yeah, who knew that shirt was so much? Kiba Akamaru, go find Kakashi, and when you do, use a flare. You're with me, Sakura. Never leave my side for anything, Naruto commanded. Got you. Naruto, Kiba exclaimed, bolting off without realizing Sasuke was trailing him. Alongside Kiba. After following Kakashi to a little clearing, Kiba leapt into the air upon seeing a hand emerge from the earth, not realizing it was Kakashi. You're quick, child. But do you have the speed to defeat a genin? Did Kakashi ask as he knocked Kiba down with a punch to the gut? Sasuke leapt out at that precise moment, waiting for Kiba to stand back up before charging Kakashi. Kakashi saw Sasuke emerge and charge him directly behind Kiba, and he threw a kunai at him, but Sasuke was slightly behind Kiba, so the kunai struck Kiba in his left arm, causing him to scream as Sasuke charged Kakashi up. Kakashi was upset with the boy for not stopping to assist his comrade. Saying, "Don't move," Kakashi poofed away and hit Sasuke in the neck after dodging a punch and tying him to a tree. Naruto walked over to Sasuke and cut him loose, only to slug him hard in the face. It was not even 3 minutes later that Sakura and Naruto found Kiba and Sasuke. "You bastard, I knew what you did. You two were being told by a shadow clone, but I kept Kiba in the dark." With his fangs extending, Naruto said, "I have half a mind to." Sakura hurried to stop her brother. "Enough of Naruto. It's just a small cut. Later, kill the prick. As of right now, we must stop Kakashi," Sakura remarked. "You idiot. For now, you follow my lead. I'll take you out later." Naruto took off his shades and declared, "And if you don't, comrade or not, council or not, Uchiha or not, I'll kill you where you stand." "Okay," Sasuke said, not wanting to give in but having no other option for his future. And Naruto revealed his plan to him. In the middle of the exercise area, Kakashi was getting bored as he stood there. With just 5 minutes remaining in the exam, it appeared that Sasuke would have to fail due to his lack of teamwork. The sound of roughly 10 Naruto clones encircling him startled him out of his reverie. Although Kakashi was unsure of the clone's brand, he was unwilling to find out. After leaping into the air, he was tackled back to the ground. As he turned to run wire around his hands and legs, he saw Kiba and a clone like figure had done it. The next thing he knew, Sasuke was standing there, throwing fireballs at him. After managing to escape, Kakashi was struck by a punch from Naruto and several clones attached themselves to him. One of the clones said, "You'll pass up if you don't want to die." Sarah simply observed. The clones weren't blowing up, but she knew they had enough chakra to kill Kakashi. Just as the bell rang, she saw one grab the bells and throw them to Sakura. After Sasuke's little trick with Kiba, Kakashi was about to fail him, but Sasuke's yell cut him off. "Well now. That was excellent teamwork on your part," Kakashi began. When Sasuke charged Kiba and saw a sliver gun in his face, he exclaimed, "What? You were going to fail me because of that? That mutt. Kiba, I'm going to kill you." He raised his head to see the glare in Naruto's deep purple eyes. Sasuke was filled with fear that he hadn't experienced since Itachi killed his clan, even though he wasn't sure why, just by glancing at Naruto. Sasuke would admit to being more afraid of dying than of anything else if you asked him. Sasuke realized at that precise moment that Naruto Uzumaki Hellsing, the name of death, was out to get him. Naruto, calm down. You don't need to put a bullet in him, Sakura said. Kiba merely observed. Kakashi was attempting to determine what to do, and Sarah's was only going to step in if necessary. If you ever go after a friend of mine like that again, even the councils will mean shit me. Do you got me, Uchiha? Replied Naruto. Sasuke was limited to nodding. Sarah's said, "You all head home," as Kakashi walked off to report to the Hokage. Naruto hustled his weapon and turned to leave. Sakura crossed her arms and said, "Sasuke, you're one lucky son of a bitch." Kiba questioned, "Why is that, Sakura?" as they started to leave behind Naruto. "Because Naruto really meant to kill him just now. I knew Naruto hated Sasuke, but..." "Never mind," Sakura replied. Council Chambers. When Naruto and Sakura entered the council chambers, it was almost noon. Sasuke Uchiha was standing close to Haruno, the head of the civilian council. The civilian council consisted of roughly 15 members. The strongest landowners and merchants. Heishi Haiga, Sume Inazuka, Shibi Aburame, Inochi Yamanaka, Shikama Nara, Shuza Akamine, and Danzo were on the shinobi side of things. The elders Sasuke Sarutobi and his former teammates came last. Homura and Koharu. A slender councilman stood up and turned to face Naruto as soon as Sakura and Naruto entered the room. Spitting out the final word like it was poison, the man asked, "What are you doing here, Uzumaki?" Naruto grinned. The way Naruto said, "I was under the impression that I only answer to the Hokage and or the advisors of the council when the Hokage is not present." "So back off," the councilman wanted to punch him in the face. Naruto, enough. The council has called both you here. Sakura for an arranged marriage between herself and Sasuke. You because of your new clan status, said Sarutobi while puffing on his pipe. With a disapproving tone, Koharu remarked, "What a digesting habit you picked up, Sasuke." Homura made her blush by asking, "I don't know Koharu. Chan. What about you and your ramen addiction? We'll discuss about the good old days later, Sarutobi remarked. Let's start with the fact that my daughter has an arranged marriage with Sasuke-kun here. I mean, it's obvious that she's ecstatic about being his first wife, Haruno laughed. Sakura shocked many on the council when she said, "Go suck a dick, you whore. I'm not marrying the Uchiha prick." The fattest member of the civilian council had a thing for young girls, and everyone else had slept with Sakura's mother. "What did you say to me, you little bitch? I am your mother, you will respect me, or so help me I'll make you beg to be fucked like the little slut you," shouted a furious Haruno. "I'm no slut, because no man has ever seen me without clothes on. You let that fat pig over there nearly rape me. The person you call daughter. How can I love my mother when all she wants is to use me for her own ends? I am not you, Haruno, you nothing to me mother," said Sakura as she spit out the word mother. Anger was making Haruno tremble. "You heard my baby sister Haruno. Since I'm the head of the clan, I can adopt people into my clan. I adopted Sakura into it years ago. Face it, slut. You can't mold her into your personal little slave for sale. I've made sure of that. Her name is Sakura Uzumaki Hellsing now." Naruto smirked at the expressions on the council members' faces when they heard the word Hellsing. Haruno yelled, taking out a small dagger she had hidden and charging at Sakura. "You ungrateful little bitch. I gave you life, a roof over your head, and all the love anyone could ask for, and this is how you repay me." When Naruto noticed that his younger sister was in danger, he went to grab his gun, but Sakura stopped him with a glance. He nodded and retreated, understanding that she wanted to handle this on her own. When Haruno lowered the dagger to a close distance, Sakura dodged and took a swing at her abdomen. Haruno smashed into the wall with such force that he coughed up some blood. Naruto smirked and said, "Nice one, Sakura-chan. I think you cracked a rib. I say too. My real goal was about 4, Sakura said, gesturing with her hand. Kaharu was astounded and asked, "How did you do that?" Naruto remarked, "Oh, she learned it from Tsunade. Ba-chan," which caused Sasuke's eyes to enlarge. Sasuke grinned and thought, "She perfect. Trained by a Sanin. She can give me the secrets of Tsunade's legendary power." Kaharu questioned, "How did she learn it from Tsunade? Sama?" To the surprise of the council, Naruto said, "I gave her a scroll on it." A council member questioned, "How?" Sakura questioned, "What's with all the damn house today? A ninja from the village kidnapped me when I was about 9 years old, and they took me to a border town with the intention of killing me. Luckily, Tsunade and her student Shizunea, who, I must say, is pretty cutty, passed by and saved my sorry ass. After that, I traveled with them for almost 4 months, helping Tsunade when she was almost a million ryu and helping her pay off some of her debts. Following that, I returned to the village and rested. I attempted to learn it, but I was only able to use my right fist, so I gave it to Sakura and instructed her to burn it once she had finished," Naruto uttered, inciting another councilman to rise. The man exclaimed, "Damn it, I knew that idiot screwed up when you came back." As a scared-looking man grinned and entered the room. Ibiki dragged him off, saying, "Damn, I always wanted to know if a council member screamed like a bitch." Naruto growled at Sasuke and said, "Back to business. I won't extend a marriage contract to Sasuke with my sister. You loser. If Sakura has my heirs, think of the power they could have," Sasuke replied. "Sakura will only marry the one she chooses for love, not a political marriage for money and power. What kind of brother would I be if I gave her to an uncaring bastard like you?" Naruto said, making Sasuke furious. Sarutobi got to his feet just as Sasuke was about to scream at him. "Enough. We have something else to discuss." "Since the head of a new family and an old family," Sarutobi replied. A tall merchant stood up and said, "Lord Hellsing, I would like to arrange a marriage between the House of Hellsing and the Odamo clan. To hell with the Uchiha clan. This could bust me up all the way to one of the Fire Lords," he believed. Naruto said, "Didn't I already say hell no? I think my sister and I need to leave," but Sarutobi interrupted. "Naruto, before you go, I figure that this is as good a time as any to tell you that your father was Minato Namikaze and your mother was Kushina Uzumaki. She died in childbirth. Your father didn't have time to leave you a letter. However, your mother thought she might die in childbirth regardless of what might have happened, so she left a letter for you. I have some of their objects in my possession. Come by sometime soon and get them. I'll also open up your parents' bank account for you and Sakura, Sarutobi said. Sakura and Naruto were both taken aback. Unsure of what to say, Naruto nodded. He was somewhat relieved and incensed. He was both relieved that his parents hadn't abandoned him and upset that his father had given him the 9 tails. Despite her adorable appearance. Although Sakura was unable to understand her brother's emotions, she was somewhat relieved that he had finally learned the truth. The civilian council was about to piss themselves because they had probably blown the opportunity to gain significant power in the village, but the shinobi members were relieved that their friend's son was still alive and well. I don't think I'm ready for it yet, old man. Hold on to that letter for me, Sakura said as they left via a portal that Naruto had created. Sarutobi stated, this shit is going to be all over the village news tomorrow, and his teammates nodded in agreement. Kaharu added, and all that damn paperwork, which made Sarutobi and Homura cry uncontrollably. Within the community, Sakura and Naruto decided to explore instead of returning home at that particular moment. It took them almost 2 hours to find the Triple T, a weapons store that appeared to be rather ordinary. Let's enter, Sakura said, glancing at Naruto. It could be a wise decision. Naruto pulled out the specifics that went into his bullets and clips, saying, I need to find a place to make a few bullets and clips for my guns. Their mouths dropped open as they forced the door open, and they saw nothing but weapons and a few scrolls explaining how to use them from wall to wall and barrel to barrel. A few shelves even contained weapons. A female voice said, hang on, I'll be with you in a second, I need to finish putting this box of kunai away. Naruto had a spurt of blood come from his nose at the sight of this hot girl, who looked to be a little older than 18. Her toned figure, black hair falling down to her backside in 2 buns, and her chocolate brown eyes were all striking. She wore a mid-thigh black skirt, blue boots, and a heart-shaped necklace around her neck. Hi there. My name is Talho. How may I assist you? Talho inquired. After a brief moment of staring at her boy, Naruto handed her the designs for the clips and bullets, saying, I need those done. I'll be melted down into those bullets for the price of 1,000 kunai and 1,000 shuriken, declared Naruto. Talho's eyes widened. This kid was paying big time for a set of 50 kunai, shrunken, which was a little over 1,000 ryu. That's a little more than 100,000 ryu, kid. Do you really think you can afford that? Talho inquired. Then Naruto gave Sakura a gentle tap on the head. Brother could pay for that 10,000 times over and not go broke, Sakura said. Tatkashiten, come in here now with your asses. Talho cried out. 2 individuals entered through the back door. The first was a tall man, easily 6'7", with brown eyes, black hair pulled back in a ponytail, white pants, a black muscle shirt, and a red and black bandana wrapped around his arm. He appeared to be about 24 years old. The other girl was perhaps a year older, but she was still easily their age. Standing at 5 feet 4 inches, she resembled a smaller version of Talho, but with her hair pulled back into buns and her assets suggesting that she was only halfway through puberty. She was dressed in a black pair of pants, a pink Chinese top, and a leaf bandana wrapped around her forehead. You gave Talho a call? A man who was clearly Takashi asked. Talho whistled as he showed him the prints. Yeah, I did. This guy here wanted to have these made. Wow, these are really nice. Furthermore, the specs function independently of chakra. In roughly 3 days, I can complete them. What is the amount you are paying? Questioned Takashi. He's paying for 1,000 kunai and shrunken to be melted down and made for those, Talho said. And I'll also compensate you for your time on them and a small side project I want done, Naruto replied. Oh my god, dude. Takashi said, let's talk turkey, as Tenten drew Sakura aside to demonstrate some impressive weaponry. Sakura was skilled at fighting from a distance, but she would struggle if an opponent got too close. Knowing that a straight fight would be impossible, Sakura searched until she saw 2 exquisitely crafted kodachi, each measuring just about 2 feet with a f4 1/2 foot sheath. The blades had Sakura patterns on them. The main hilt was a foot long with blue wrap around it, while the other appeared to be the plain end of the sheath. How much for them and a training scroll? Sakura turned to Tenten after falling in love with them right away. Inquired Sakura? It is slightly more than 600 ryu. You see, nobody was really interested in it, and my sister refused to give it to me. My sister said I could buy it if no one else did by my birthday the following year. Tenten said, "You arrived just in time because it's almost my birthday in 2 months," as Sakura took out the cash and gave it to him. Tenten also threw in the scroll at no cost. That's when Takashi and Naruto Talho returned, appearing pretty content with themselves. "Alright, everything is in order, and the payment has been scheduled so that I can obtain them later on. Additionally, I believe we can." Naruto paused to study a sword that was in the center of a barrel. He nearly dropped the last blade of Hellsing, which was about 3 feet long, black with a sliver edge, and emblazoned with the word Hellsing. After taking the sword out of the barrel, he studied it more closely and noticed that the guard was blue and that the blade had a pattern resembling flames. "What's the price of this sword?" Shocking the weapons siblings, Naruto questioned. "Man, you're clueless." Takashi remarked, "That damn thing wouldn't let anyone touch it or they got a nasty burn." "Since you can touch it, it must have been made for your hands, so just take it," Talho said with a grin. "I'm grateful." "Sakura-chan, hurry up and let's leave." Naruto snatched up the sheath and said, "See you in a few days, Takashi." "San, Talho-san, and of course Tenten-chan." Tenten said, "Hey, hold on, we never got your name." Naruto Uzumaki Hellsing, said Naruto as he and Sakura walked out, leaving a stunned shop of 3. Naruto turned and grinned at them. Takashi excitedly jumped in the air and exclaimed, "Talho, Tenten. We just got a contract from a noble. Yahoo!" He then grabbed the blueprints and ran down the stairs to create what Naruto had requested. After 3 months, Naruto, Sakura, Kiba, and Ceres took a seat at the ramen stand. For the general of Team 7, the past 2 months have been unbearable. Ceres trained the team, with the exception of Sasuke, who made demands of her, while Kakashi spent a lot of time reading his porn. They had already picked up the exercise of climbing trees and picked up a few new jutsu. Both Sakura and Naruto acquired the earth style of spiked roads and the fire style of firewall defense. Naruto had also begun studying the fundamentals of sealing. Kiba acquired the black rain jutsu, also known as the water style. Although Kakashi and Ceres only desired for Sasuke to focus on his strength, he was still interested in learning the jutsu. They conducted easy missions in between the training sessions. While Sasuke just brooded and did little work, Kiba thought Naruto and Sakura were crazy for enjoying D-ranked missions. Ceres grew close to Kiba and Sakura during their 2 months together as a team, choosing to die rather than leave her friends behind. She and Naruto had a somewhat different relationship. They grew closer than a teacher and student ought to have. Following their first month of getting to know one another, they began to flirt happily. The furthest it went was when Ceres undressed following a sparring session in which Naruto was knocked out due to blood loss. During the course of the 3 months, Naruto and Sakura were also approached about marriage. All of them were rejected, and Sakura's fist or Naruto's gun rather brutally extinguished the more extreme ones. Now, for the first time for Ceres, who had never used the substance, they were at the ramen stand. Ramen Ceres was winning more than 3 bowls once they had the basic miso. They had barely finished when Kakashi materialized beside them. "Yo," Kakashi exclaimed. "We're on our lunch break, what the hell do you want, Kakashi?" "San?" Naruto said, placing his money on the counter and leaving a generous tip. "Hokage Sama has given us a C-ranked mission to wave. We are to protect a bridge builder by the name of Tazuna. We meant at the East Gate in 1 hour," explained the disappearance of Kakashi. "Alright you lot. You heard the man. I want you ready in half that time," Ceres replied. Sakura got up and said, "Brother, let's go get our things." "Okay, folks, let's go now," Naruto said, opening a portal and jumping in with Sakura trailing behind him. 30 minutes later, at the gate. With Kakashi, Kiba, the clienta, a tan man with a beer belly and muscular looking Armsa and Sasuke, Ceres stood at the gate. Sasuke inquired, hoping to see his woman, as he liked to call her occasionally, "Where's Hellsing and Sakura?" "Right here," Naruto said, moving to appear beside Sasuke and placing Sakura on his shoulders. Naruto was wearing his hat once more, but there was a sword in a black sheath on his back. Sakura had a long sword in her hand as well. With a spin, Sakura leapt off his shoulders and landed beside Ceres. Ceres produced a card with an 8.5 on it, Kiba a 7.5, and Kakashi an 8. Sakura remarked, "Damn, I thought I would get a 10 at least." With a "maybe next time, baby sister," Naruto remarked. "People, let's get out." "It's daylighting out," Tizuna said as she left the gate. A day later while traveling, Naruto, Ceres, and Tizuna positioned themselves at the front of the group, with Sakura standing beside him, Kiba and Sasuke on either side of him, and Kakashi at the back. Naruto and Ceres were chatting and flirting. When Sakura inquired about Wave's hidden village, Wave had to decline. Naruto whispered, "Hey Ceres, how have you handled the blood problem all these years?" With a tiny smile, Ceres said, "Simple. I only feed when necessary and it's now almost 3 months in between feeding instead of every night," as they walked past a poodle. Naruto reached inside his coat to the gun. 2 men leapt out and shackled Kakashi as he was passing by. When Naruto took out his silver Hellsing gun and unclipped the safety, everyone stopped. Kakashi was killed by the 2 men who pulled the chins. "One down," the first one said. "A few more to go," his counterpart concluded. Ceres pulled out a kunai and said, "Sakura Sasuke guard Tizuna. Kiba Naruto take them out. Be warned they're C. Ranked missing nin called the Demon Brothers." Naruto remarked, "C. Rank trash more like it." As his brother charged Kiba, the first charging Naruto yelled, "Don't mock us punk." With his gun aimed, Naruto shot the chain, causing it to break in 2. They swiftly broke free from the chains and made their way to other objectives. The first attacked Naruto, but Naruto's gun prevented his claws from reaching him. Putting the gun to his eye, Naruto used his free hand to slug him and drop his knee into his chest. The other had run toward Sakura, leaving Kiba behind. Sasuke leapt in front of her, thinking he was strong, only to be knocked aside. Sakura reached into her coat pocket and took out a 9mm. She squeezed the trigger once, causing the man to sob in agony as it struck his shoulder. She then squeezed the trigger 3 more times, causing bullets to enter his right elbow and both of his knees. Sakura grinned and lowered her smoking pistol. Sakura said, "Thanks for the gift, Naruto." Kun, tucking it back into her coat. Kakashi appeared next to Naruto, who said, "Anytime. Next time you hide, I'm cutting your eyes out." "Got it?" "I apologize, but I had to see something," Kakashi said. Naruto turned to the brother underfoot and said, "Whatever. You're going to tell me who you're trying to kill here, or I'm blowing your fucking brains out, after I put a bullet in your legs and balls," Naruto said with a pale face. "Alright. We were hired by Gato to kill the old man." "Look, you know it's nothing personal, just a bit of bad business," replied the man. Just as Sakura approached, Naruto said, "What do you say, Sakura?" "Chan?" Sakura said, "I say let them walk. No point in killing defeated dogs," but Kiba shot her a sidelong glance. Sakura said, "I'm sorry, Kiba. Kun Akamaru. Chan." She smiled a little. Kiba said, "Nay. It's okay. Sakura. Chan, because that's what they are, defeated dogs," as Naruto holstered his weapon. "Be lucky my baby sister is in a good mode or I would have splattered your brain all over the ground just now," said Naruto as he walked away. "Alright, let's move on," Ceres uttered. "Alright, we should be aware of what's going on," Kakashi remarked, glancing at Tizuna. Kakashi. "San, let's just skip the whole story routine and got to Wave." "Everyone wants to go anyway, do why waste your time asking?" Naruto replied. "Naruto is right. It's best for all invalid," stated Kiba. Tizuna gave Naruto a bow. Tizuna said, "Thank you," and Naruto grinned back at him. Naruto said, "You're welcome," as they kept walking away. In a secret place, a man in a suit exclaimed, "Your little hatchment fucked up bad, Zabuza," only to have a big Zanbuto thrust in his face. The man with the big sword smiled broadly and said, "Shut up. The vampire and copycat Kakashi are with them. I think it will be a lot of fun." En route to Wave, the Konoha Nins had just come to a halt at the edge of the water dividing the Wave border from the fire border. White mist was really the only thing visible. Tizuna took out a flashlight from his backpack and gave it 6 flashes. After 6 more lights reappeared, a boat soon approached. Naruto stopped Sasuke as he was about to intervene by grabbing him by the collar. As Ceres and Sakura boarded the boat, Kiba, Kakashi, Tizuna, Naruto, and Sasuke followed suit. Ladies first, Uchiha, and don't make me repeat myself, Naruto exclaimed. After the boat was pushed off, Naruto made the decision to assist with rowing. After less than 3 hours of rowing, they came across a large bridge. Gazing at the bridge in wonder, Sarah said, Tazuna-san, is that the bridge Gato wasn't dead for? Tazuna recalled some of the things he had witnessed since Gato took control of Wave and responded, yes. If I died, Gato would own all of Wave. Gato's power is fierce and deadly, but the slave rings he owns are the worst. Women, children, it doesn't matter to that swine. He'll sell everything to turn a profit. Naruto pulled out his jackal and cocked it. Tazuna-san, you have my word that Gato will die. I won't even charge you for it. Men like Gato should burn in hell for all eternity, he said. Tazuna gave Naruto a bow. Thank you, Hellsing-san. Someday I hope to repay your kindness, Tazuna replied. Tazuna felt Sakura's hand on her shoulder. There's no need for that, Tazuna-san. We will help you out, because like my brother I can't stand people like this Gato. He's too much like a whore we all know back in Konoha, Sakura said with a rage in her eyes. The boatman said, everyone, we're approaching the shore. I can't go any further than this, as the vessel touched down. From now on, everything will be fine, Kakashi remarked as they all got off the boat and headed toward the road. After about an hour of walking on a dirt path, Naruto heard something moving in the bushes. After bringing out Joshua, he fired 3 shots into the bushes and then stepped into them to reveal a white rabbit. In Naruto's thoughts, Alucard had made the decision to pay them a visit after noticing something that actually frightened him. Yelling about cute white rabbits that she would love to chase again, Yoko was bouncing up and down. Alucard retreated gradually and departed. Crazy fox, Alucard called him, placing his hand on his head. Return outside. In an attempt to look good for Sakura, Sasuke said, you idiot. You gave away our position to nearby enemies with those shots. Use your brain and think for once in your life, Uchiha. This is a rabbit's winter coat, this little thing was raised indoors to be used as a substitute, said Naruto as he raised the rabbit. Kiba remarked, Naruto's right, I can smell human on it, to which Akamaru responded with a bark. A minute later, Naruto heard something sever the air, and he knew then that something was wrong. Get down, everyone, yelled Naruto. Then, as everyone saw a massive claymore coming their way, Naruto pulled Sakura to the ground, Sarah's pulled Tazuna to the ground, and everyone else ducked. Then, the sword sank into a tree, landing there on top of a man who was easily 6 feet tall or more, with black spiked hair and no eyebrows, wearing blue pants, shinobi sandals, and a headband tipped to the side. Zabuza, grabbing his sword, said, at least I knew that you guys can play, and leapt off the tree. Mochi Zabuza. Missing Nin, graded A. Wanting for the Mizukage's attempted murder, Kakashi uttered in a hushed voice. The idiot was bound to lose. Copycat Kakashi, I'll tell you why if you survive. Along with Sarah's the vampire, we have this. It makes sense why the Demon Brothers were defeated so easily, Zabuza rubbed his chin. This guy here is actually who did it, Sarah said, gesturing to Naruto. As Zabuza began to laugh, Naruto pulled a chain from his pouch and threw it at his feet. If you beat the Demon Brothers then I'll kiss a goat's ass the second it starts to shit, Zabuza exclaimed. I intended to save it for a Slovenlier, Naruto remarked, evoking laughter from Sakura, Sarah's, Kiba, and Kakashi. Then Sarah said, well, Zabuza-san, I guess you'd better find that goat, which made everyone laugh even harder. Zabuza began to perspire. Perhaps later. I want the old man, anyway. Zabuza said, taking a sword stance, I won't have to hurt you if you guess move. Zabuza, you were aware of the rules. A conflict of interest and other related issues. Hence, I can't let you have him without putting up a fight, declared Kakashi as he prepared to adjust his headband. Kakashi, hold on. Sword out, I'll take him on, declared Naruto. Naruto, you're a genin, Kakashi began, but Naruto interrupted him with a single look. Naruto took a stand, saying, genin or not, I feel like I need to do this for some reason. Though Zabuza was clearly stronger and more skilled in combat, Naruto was no fool and knew that he could easily lose without even having a good fight. Although he could easily take out Joshua and Jackal, he preferred not to use them unless absolutely necessary. Who is the small genin who is challenging me? Zabuza inquired. Naruto Uzumaki Hellsing, the character uttered. That can't be. Zabuza exclaimed, almost dropping his sword as his eyes widened. Years ago, the House Hellsing was exterminated, Zabuza stated. Read it, buddy, and wipe it. I'm holding the Hellsing sword, declared Naruto, brandishing it. When Zabuza narrowed his eyes and charged at Naruto, the latter used the flat side of the sword to block his slash and push Zabuza backward, causing him to stumble before he could plant his feet firmly. Then, using his vampiric strength, Naruto set himself up to have an even footing with Zabuza in terms of strength, pushing him off and running at full speed, making him around Kakashi's level. Zabuza was suspired at Naruto's speed. After a clash of blades, which ended with Naruto jumping back, he realized he was having more trouble than he thought, so he removed his jacket and hat to give himself more mobility. Naruto charged at Zabuza, cutting him across the chest, and then the dragon slammed into him, causing his ribs to crack. Naruto hit the ground, staring at Zabuza with fire in his eyes. Naruto quickly stood up and got ready to continue the fight, but just as he was about to escape, the dragon crashed into a tree. After landing with a roll, Naruto turned to face Zabuza, who had dropped on him from above. He managed to dodge back and forth, but not before launching an upward slash that Zabuza parried with his sword, sending Naruto hurtling toward his neck. Zabuza then ducked and kicked him in the chest, sending Naruto flying back to his group. Just as Naruto was about to stand up, Sarah's appeared, looking enraged. Sarah's. Sensei, hold on. I'm still not over him. I'm still capable of fighting, declared Naruto, to be met with a heated glare from Sarah's. Naruto. Kun, you're done. I can't bear to lose someone as precious to me as you are, declared Sarah's, before she vanished and reappeared in front of Zabuza, slamming her right heel into his face and sending him flying through the tree and into the water. With his sword raised, Zabuza rose to his feet and lunged toward Sarah's, attempting to sever her in two. Sarah's managed to catch the blade in her hand, but it appeared to be blazing her palms. What the devil is happening? While everyone else was amazed at her strength, Naruto thought, I got cut with the damn thing, but it didn't burn me. Zabuza's eyes widened as Sarah's declared, we fight by the side of Lord Hellsing in the name of Her Majesty for God, before picking him up and tossing him into a tree. Zabuza was about to stand up when two senbon needles punctured his neck, causing him to stumble. A young woman, likely a year older than Naruto, then materialized, wearing a blank mask with a red swirl around it. I appreciate you taking down Zabuza. I've been chasing him for more than a month, the individual exclaimed. Are you right, Hunter? As Sarah's got ready to battle, he asked. True. I'm just here for Zabuza. San, so go ahead and unwind. The girl picked up Zabuza's body and walked off, saying, now pardon me, I have a body to dispose of. Whether it was a Kyuubi container or not, that was just out of there. Tizuna was on the ground thanking Kami for the powerful ninjas that were to protect him. Sakura and Kiba helped Naruto up. Sasuke was furious at both Naruto and Sarah's for the power they displayed. Everyone shivered as Sarah said, Tizuna, take us to your house, and once we get there I need to spec with Naruto alone. Naruto interrupted himself, saying, that's it, I'm a dead man, to glance at Sarah's burned hands. Sarah's. Chan, what about your hands? Queried Naruto. Sarah said, that's one of the things I need to talk to you about, as Tizuna led the way to his home. In Tizuna's home. When everyone had settled in and gotten to know Tizuna's grandson Inari as well as his daughter Tsunami, Naruto began to worry about how enraged Sarah's was with him. Just as he was about to go look for her, she appeared from behind him. Sarah said, follow me, Naruto. Kun and Naruto just nodded. Should we adhere to? Inquired Sakura in a fretful manner. If we do, she's probably going to kill us, Kakashi declared, taking out his cum-cum paradise. With Sarah's and Naruto. After leaving the house, they went outside to the roof, where the sun had begun to set and Naruto thought it was beautiful. However, as he was about to say something, he felt a slap on his face and looked down to see a crying Sarah's. Naruto had come to know Sarah's outside of their relationship as students, and one thing he discovered was that it took a lot to make her cry the way she was crying at the moment. Sarah's, said Naruto, only to be met with yet another, much more forceful slap. You idiot. Who granted you the authority to battle a more formidable foe by yourself? I will be damned if I lose you too, because you are all that remains of me in this world. Alucard fought two opponents by himself, so I lost. To me, he resembled a brother. Sir Integra passed away from old age. For a very long time, the pattern kept happening. I don't want to part from you either. Please don't abandon me like the rest of my family, Sarah's cried into Naruto's shoulder as she hugged him. I'm sorry, Sarah's, Naruto said with a little sad smile on his face. I was born with it. It defies explanation. I was in a rush to establish my worth. I didn't mean to cause you harm. Sarah's, please pardon me, Naruto said, giving her a firm hug. With more tears in her eyes, Sarah's pulled back and grinned, giving him a full mouth kiss. You big lug, she said. Because I love you, I'll always forgive you, Sarah's declared, planting another kiss on Naruto. In that kiss, Naruto experienced emotions he had never imagined having in his life. A love that came from the very core of a person's being, the kind of kiss you would want to share your lifelong companionship with. Naruto was beginning to feel more. After moving his lips away from Sarah's and kissing her neck, causing her to sigh softly, she grabbed at his hair as he pushed her against the roof. Naruto continued to kiss and caress her beautiful body, feeling a pulse in her neck. Unable to control the growing hunger, he moved his head back and bit down on her, drawing blood and causing her to scream aloud. Naruto. Kun, Sarah's uttered as she encircled his waist with her powerful, proportioned legs. Naruto drew back his fangs from her neck, evoking a small cry of disappointment from Sarah's, and then he looked at her with wide eyes as Sarah's called his name, waking him from whatever trance he was in. What have I done? Shuddering from what he had just done, Naruto said before taking off. Wait for Naruto, cried Sarah's, hurrying after him. In the forest. Uncertain of how far he had run, but certain of having run a good distance, Naruto stopped in a small clearing under a full moon, panting before sitting down, afraid for whatever reason, biting Sarah's and probably trying to get her if she hadn't called out his name. Sarah's approached him, waking him from his daze. Go away, Sarah's. I promise not to hurt you again, Naruto said, but Sarah's comforted him by placing a hand on his face, making him look into her eyes, and then leaning down to kiss him. Naruto. It was only natural for what to happen. I had no idea your blood was so active for someone so young, but I can assure you that I was not harmed and that I thoroughly enjoyed it. You gave me more than just a physical sense of love. I almost lost self-control and immediately tried to mate with you. I'm happy to be in your arms right now, but I'd like to mark you as my mate one day, Sarah said, bending down to give him a kiss. Sarah's, I have to tell you something. Naruto drew Sarah's into a deep embrace. As you are probably aware, Kyuubi is ingrained in me. Her touch roused my blood. Made me faster, stronger, and almost twice as fast in my ability to think. With a smile on his face, Naruto said, I am basically a vampire, but without all the flaws, to Sarah's gentle tap on his arm. You are a prat. I could care less if they are humans or vampires. With a laugh, Sarah said, I love you exactly the way you are and will always care for you. Sarah's, I must ask you what has really happened to me and why Zabuza's sword caused you such severe pain. With her eyes shut, Sarah's rested against Naruto. The second is easy. That sword was made from holy relics and passed through the line. When Sir Integra's eldest child took over the organization, a swordsman from Japan came in and pledged that his family would serve the Hellsing line for as long as the line existed. The first one is much harder. You basically smelled a female vampire who is ready to give birth to children. It's so embarrassing. I want them now, but I have to wait for just a little longer. I'm waiting for you to be ready, Sarah said with a slight blush. With a, let's head back to the house, Naruto said. Sarah laughed heartily when Naruto got up and lifted her into a bridal style, and then she kissed him. In the hideout of Zabuza. Sitting beside Zabuza while he took his medication was a girl. Wearing a loose pink kimono, the girl had long black hair, an angelic face, looked about 15, and had a body most girls her age would kill for. Zabuza was furious because he had been beaten by a child, and to make matters worse, it might have been the Hellsing heir. Haku, Zabuza said, glancing at the young woman. Yes, Zabuza. San? Inquired the girl who was removing a washcloth. What did the girl say just before she threw a ragdoll at me? Zabuza inquired. Even with my training in silent killing, it was difficult for me to hear, but it sounded like. We fight for God alongside Lord Hellsing in Her Majesty's name. Why is Zabuza-sama doing this? Haku inquired. Zabuza said, it was something that had me bugged. He knew he was in for a real fight the next time. It seems that my family will soon be back in the service of the Hellsings, but not before making sure we're not wasting out time and power for a weakling, Zabuza mused. At Tizuna's residence. It was getting late when Naruto and Ceres returned home. Thus, they occupied the room assigned to Ceres. Now, Ceres was starting to wake up and was at ease. When she opened her eyes, she discovered Naruto asleep and encircled by his arm. He was wearing a black tank top with his coat, wide brimmed hat, glasses, and shirt all in a mess. She curled up against Naruto and closed her eyes, hoping that the calm would last. She quickly returned to her sleep. Before either of them woke up, it took an additional 2 hours. First was Naruto, who cast a sidelong glance at Ceres. Given that she was the only one with the mark at the moment, she could be considered Hisamate. Laying there, Naruto took in her beauty. Though she was undoubtedly one of the most attractive women on the planet, Naruto saw more in her. As he turned to leave, Ceres suddenly straddled him after he had given her a quick kiss on the top of her head. With a smile, Ceres leaned in to give him a kiss. She continued by running her tongue over his bottom lip, pleading for access. Naruto parted his lips, allowing her to insert her tongue. Her thighs were touched by Naruto, causing her to flinch slightly. Then he shifted his to her rear end. As Naruto began to pinch and squeeze it, Ceres groaned in the kiss. Before anyone opened the door, they were working on it for almost 15 minutes. Sakura asked, "Ceres. Sensei, have you seen Na?" But was instantly taken aback by what she saw. Exhaling sharply and blushing, Ceres got off Naruto. Muttering something about brothers taking all the hot chicks, Sakura left the room. Ceres noticed that Naruto's pants were getting a little tight, and she realized that she would probably benefit from a very cold shower and some new underwear as well. Ceres gave Naruto a quick glance, stood up, gave him a kiss, and then took out a scroll. Ceres said as he was leaving, "I'm getting Sakura Chan later. I was enjoying your hands on my ass," but Naruto picked up his scroll and opened it. He took off the seal of a 3/4 long-sleeve blue t-shirt and put it on. After that, he put on his coat and vest, put on his glasses, hat, and sealed his other shirt. As soon as Naruto emerged from the room and descended the stairs, all eyes were fixed on him. He received enthusiastic applause from Kiba, Kakashi, and Tizuna. Jealous glances from Sasuke were directed at him. And blushing and giggling, Sakura and Tsunami stood close to the sink. When Ceres finally descended after 5 minutes, Sasuke was standing close by. With an attempt at a ladykiller smile, Sasuke said, "Go upstairs and undress so I can have my turn with you. Who knows? You might not want to go back to the dobi." Kiba drew back from a furious Naruto, holding his breath. Naruto's eyes were flickering back and forth between purple, blue, and red. Oh shit. He is so going to die now. "I'll just hide in your coat," Akamaru declared as he slipped inside Kiba's coat. "Take cover, buddy. I agree with you on that one little thing." Kiba jumped behind the couch. Ceres gasped. Uchiha had essentially instructed her to spread her legs wide like a whore, and to top it all off, he attempted to smile like a ladykiller. Not on her, Sakura, Hinata, Kurenai, or Anko did that smile work. Ceres grabbed Sasuke's shoulders and kneed him below the belt. 1. I didn't do anything with Naruto. 2. Even if I did, I would kill you the second you brought your limp dick anywhere near me, and 3. If I didn't, my mate would, Ceres said. With a wince, every man in the house covered himself. Sakura approached Sasuke and gave him a quick glance. Sakura laughed at a hurt Sasuke and exclaimed, "You got knocked the fuck out." Kakashi said, "Let's get training." We never knew when more enemies might appear. As they all left the house, Sasuke left with a limp. Naruto cast his gaze upward. Naruto asked no one, "Why do I feel like we forgot something?" Exterior. Wearing smiles, Kakashi and Ceres stood before their students. "Alright everyone, today we'll be learning a few new jutsu," replied Kakashi. "How many?" Sasuke inquired, his gaze full of power. "Only 2 today. 1 attacking, 1 defensive," Ceres remarked as Sasuke gave them a stern look. Sasuke gave his teachers a stern look and remarked, "What? I don't need defensive attacks. I need powerful offensive ones." While it should be noted that offensive jutsu are powerful, sometimes defense is better. Now watch. Ox, ram, monkey, hare, dragon, bird, dog, monkey. Wind style. Cutting vortex, Kakashi stated. As 5 tiny tornadoes formed from a massive wind and began to move in Saras's direction. Wind blades began to lash out from the small tornadoes. Saras said, "This is the defense. Earth and water fusion style. Spiked mud wall jutsu. Snake, tiger, ram, rat, hare, ox, boar, dragon, ox, bird." A small wall of mud emerged from the ground, with spikes emerging every few seconds. When the tornadoes struck the wall, there was a tiny explosion that scattered mud all over the place. Kakashi made Naruto, Kiba, Saras, and Naruto's eyes wide as he said, "That's how those jutsu go. You will practice them for an hour. After that we move to taijutsu training. Naruto, you and Sakura will come with me for sword training. I may not be as good as I once was, but I may be able to get you two in shape, even if you use your vampiric powers." Sasuke appeared irate. As usual. What was about to come out of his mouth? Why does the Dobi get special treatment when it should be me? He's a weakling compared to me. Ando was interrupted by Kakashi's intention to kill him. Sasuke. I'm telling you this once. Never insult my sensei's son. I didn't know he was sensei's son for more than 13 years, and yet I guarded him for most of his childhood. Sasuke, you have been spoiled by the village, but out here you're nothing but a brat. I'd squash you like a bug if you don't get your act together, Kakashi said when the training started. Within 30 minutes, Naruto had mastered the wind technique and was using it as a consistent attack and defense. He had to spend the remaining half of the time building the mud wall to a solid 6 feet in height. Sakura quickly grasped the principles of the jutsu as well. Only Sasuke and Kiba found it difficult. They began their taijutsu training after the allotted hour. Sasuke proved to be fairly skilled, Sakura used more flexibility in battle, and Kiba was the fastest, but Naruto was by far the strongest of the group. Kakashi pulled Sakura and Naruto aside after their taijutsu training was over so he could begin their sword training. As Sakura materialized behind him, her second kodachi at his throat, Naruto pulled to the side, removed his coat, and glared at Kakashi. He then swiftly used some wire to restrain Kakashi. Then Jackal was placed to Kakashi's head by Naruto. It would be prudent not to lie to me. Start talking, Kakashi. How did you know I'm a vampire? Demanded Naruto, making sure Kakashi understood he meant business. Sakura pulled away and the wires went slack. You can relax, you two. Aside from Hokage. Sama's teammates, Sakura, Kiba, and Sarah's no one knows. Minato. Sensei had the blood, but could only activate 1/20th of the power. You however have come into your own. Making into a bloodline, Kakashi said. Naruto put the jackal back in its holster and asked, you do realize that we can use our weapons all right? With a gleam in his eye, Kakashi said, I knew, but you're going to be exports by the time I'm done, which alarmed Sakura and Naruto. After 3 days. Naruto left on his own after a rigorous 3 days of training with Kakashi and the others. The majority of their time had been devoted to training, but Kakashi consistently left 3 shadow clones at the bridge. Another incident was that Naruto slept with Saras for the past few nights. Not in a private reason, but more like a caring couple. Naruto made the decision to go for a stroll in the morning. He left Joshua, his sword, and his coat behind. Naruto kept moving forward until he heard faint singing. When he leapt into a tree, he noticed a stunning girl singing a beautiful song. The lies that they protected me from are days long gone to the wind, I've led a life of sin. In the days of snow, I was free to know, love, and joy. I was just young and free with my whole life ahead of me, a loving mother and strong father with absolute love for their young daughter. The girl concluded, a tiny tear trailing from her eye, my dream is to find someone to love and to live happily. I wish to look up at the night sky one day and know that they are watching me, and though the path I chose is full of sorrow, I'm still happy. Naruto leapt from the tree and came down close to her. He met her brown eyes with his purple ones. Naruto smiled a little at her. Naruto remarked, such a sad song for such a lovely voice, causing the girl to blush and quickly wipe her eyes. I'm sorry. I lived a bit of a hard life. It takes me back to before that time. A time when I was happy with my family, laughed the youngster. Naruto fixed his gaze on her. What do you have to be sorry for? I'm the one who invaded your moment of solace. I'm Naruto. May I ask for the name of the lovely lady before me? Said Naruto with a second grin. The young lady flushed. Haku asked, my name is Haku. Naruto. Kun, are you a ninja? Since she was missing all of her weapons. Yes, I am. I spent my life trying to become one. I've given up more blood, sweat, and tears than anyone in my home village realizes, said Naruto as he gazed at the sky. Haku put her hand over Naruto's heart and grinned. It's hard being alone. The pain will never go away, but as long as you have precious people you will always have strength, she said. With a smile in return, Naruto placed her hand in her lap. Precious people, huh? There are few who have that place in my heart. I would die to protect them, said Naruto as he stood up. Haku also stood. Haku said as he turned to leave, don't let that flame go. It might be the thing to save your life someday. What a kind girl, but her eyes tell a different story altogether. It like looking into a hell that seems so relentless, replied Naruto. All eyes are that way and no matter how hard you try you can't hide what's truly there, said Yoko. Yoko. Chan. I hope I never have to experience pain like that again, Naruto said, covering his heart. Yoko affirmed, I knew Naruto. Kun. I knew. With a sword drawn, Naruto declared, time to train, creating a large number of clones. Later that evening, Naruto was being dragged back to the house by Sakura and Kiba. He was returned with several cuts, bruises, and a few broken ribs. Sarah's was healing him now. As Kakashi was performing push-ups with Tazuna and Tsunami on his back, he exclaimed, what the hell happened to you, Naruto? Right now, he's on 167. As soon as Sarah's finished healing him, Naruto sat up and said, ha ha ha. The toughest enemy is oneself, and when you multiply it times 200. You might want to be more careful. The mental backlash could leave you in a comatose-like state, Kakashi said. Sakura smiled and said, no worries. Brother normally bounces back from worse. After trying to smash my brains in with a frying pan that you had just taken off the stove, you have no right to speak. Sakura blushed and said, you walked in on me planning to have I would take Ino. You also had your hand inside the cookie jar, Naruto said, grinning deviously. I turned 12 that year. What did you think I would do, to stand by and watch? With a smile, Sakura said. Naruto shook his head and added, I also remember that it was after that incident that you stopped giving a rat's ass if I saw you doing that. Maybe you two argue once more? Although hearing this stuff is interesting, Kiba would have preferred to be close to a willing girl. I knew who I'm betting tonight, Sarah's declared, kissing Naruto unexpectedly around the waist. With everyone laughing at their antics, all Inari could do was glare at Naruto, telling him that his father behaved the same way around his friends. Inari got to his feet and gave Naruto even more of a glare. Trash, Inari said, putting an end to the giggling. What were you saying? Sarah's got to his feet and asked Naruto. You heard me, you bastard. How can you joke while sitting there? Everything was lost. You will be destroyed by Gato, and it will be entirely your own fault. As it is, our lives are difficult. We don't need you here aggravating the situation, Inari remarked. While Sasuke was staring at Naruto, speculating about what the blonde boy would do, and Tazuna and Tsunami looked down in shame, Sakura, surprisingly, took action, grabbing the young boy by the collar and slamming her fist into his face with enough force to send him flying into the wall, causing Inari to slide down the wall with a split lip. Sakura that was not requested. Yelled at Sarah's, but Naruto touched her shoulder instead. Naruto tightened his grip a little and said, look at her eyes, Sarah's. It's all there in Sakura Chan's eyes. Gazing into Sakura's eyes, Sarah's perceived a strong agony as well as a sense of time travel. A past that was wounded, a past that was racked with suffering. Sarah's noticed that she was peering into the past, but she quickly pushed the memory back. You know what the worst thing I can remember is that sometimes my mother would bring in about 4 men and another woman in ropes, and I would be tied to a chair and watch as they raped that woman and my mother would just keep giving head and fucking them like nothing was happening. You little shit. What do you know about pain? Huh? I've lived with pain for the most of my life. My mother is the biggest fucking whore in the Hidden Leaf Village and no one will say anything because she is the head of the civilian council. When she started doing this, I was 7 years old. When I was 10, my mother made me suck a man's cock while she used a strap on me. After that, she did this for more than a year, and I detested it, Sakura cried as she hurried out of the house. Asking Councilwoman Haruno, is it true what she just said? Kakashi felt sick to his stomach and touched her. Every word. Sakura hid the pain from me, but I saw it for myself. Sakura had been missing for a week at the academy at age 11. So had Councilwoman Haruno. I went to Sakura's house to make sure she was alright. I sunk into the house and went to Sakura's room. What I saw will forever be burned in my mind, said Naruto as he clenched his fist. What did you see, Naruto? Tizuna asked, feeling so ill that he believed all of his sake years would suddenly manifest. Sakura was lying on her bed, her hands and feet tied so that they were exposed. Her mother was slamming a door on her and beating her with that damn strap-on. A councilman with one arm was standing behind Sakura, and two men were standing on either side of Sakura, jackknifing at the sight of what was happening. Sakura was crying and screaming, covered in the bastard seed, but the worst part was when her mother said, I own you, Sakura, I own your body. I will fuck you whenever I want and no one else will touch you unless I say so. I think that was one of the first times I really let myself cry. I promised they would all pay when I took over. They wouldn't just pay with their lives. Haruno is the last person on my list, declared Naruto as he stood up and left the house, slamming the door behind him. Why take on a promise you can't fulfill? With his arms crossed, Sasuke inquired. They injured my younger sister, Sake, so I will honor my word. It will be long overdue for me to bring them hell. In addition, Naruto walked out the front down, trying not to think about the past. Haruno bitch raped Sakura and her little friends, but Sakura wasn't the only one. Ceres was fighting back tears, Inari and Tsunami were crying, and Tizuna had dropped his sake bottle. Kiba growled, anything that happens to those pricks will be too good for them. Exterior. The moon was out and looked too lovely to be viewed by someone as damaged as Sakura was, so she sat on the pier with her knees up to her chest, trying to fight back the tears in her eyes. It had taken her nearly 6 mouths to suppress those memories, but they came flooding back to her in an intent of rage. Sakura felt a hand on her shoulder and looked to see Naruto. You don't need to be as strong as you were when you knew, Sakura. Let me be a shoulder for you to cry on if that's what you want to do. Let me cry with you. Naruto uttered, anything so I never have to see you sad. Sakura would never admit it, but the way Naruto treated her made her feel like someone to be loved. Sakura just cried her heart out, and after around an hour of sobbing, she fell asleep. That was all it took for Sakura to throw her arms around Naruto's neck as she let out a yell and sobbed. Haruno, the things you did to my little sister will not go unpunished, Naruto thought as he turned to face the moon, keeping his word. Then, like a younger sister, Naruto looked down at the person he loved, Sakura Chan, before giving her a head kiss. I will do everything within my power to ensure that you never have to cry again as long as I'm here, declared Nachuo, who picked Sakura up and led her to her room. In the home of Tizuna, Ceres saw the sun rising in the morning. Sakura had been comforted by Naruto the previous night, as evidenced by the lack of extra weight or warmth in her bed. Naruto would not allow anyone near her because of how depressed she is right now, even though Ceres could understand that she could only offer Sakura comfort in the capacity of a friend. Sarah got up, moved to a mirror, and took a quick look at her appearance. She placed her hands on her bosom and then moved them down her torso, ending at her hips. Knowing that Naruto would be going to bed late, she decided to sleep without a bra on, exposing her D-cup breasts to the elements for the night. She blushed a bright red, having had a rather heated dream about herself and Naruto. She felt lustful just thinking about that dream. She began to rub herself as she reached down to her femininity. She began to pant, went to the bed, lay down, and took off her underwear. Then she gave me a loud moan and stuck 2 fingers into her own body. She gave them a slight tug before sending them back in, letting out an equally loud moan. With a gasp, Ceres grabbed her left breast and began to pinch her nipple, releasing a small amount of milk. She then began to finger herself more quickly and add a 3rd finger. In an attempt to maximize her pleasure, Ceres was holding back her release. It wasn't good because she came hard and yelled Naruto's name after 3 more minutes of fingering herself. She reclined on the bed, panting. Naruto stood at the door grinning, saying, "Damn, that has got to be the hottest thing I've ever seen in my life." Panting, Ceres asked, "How long did you watch me, Naruto?" "Kun?" Naruto said, from beginning to end, which made Ceres blush. Ceres asked, feeling even more agitated now that she knew Naruto was observing her. Did anyone hear me? Nope. Tizuna, Sasuke, and Kakashi are at the bridge. Kiba is guarding Tsunami and Inari while they're at her friend's home, and Sakura is sleeping, replied Naruto. Naruto lay on Sarah's side, both of them heavily perspiring. With a tiny pop, Naruto left Sarah's, causing Sears to groan a little. Sarah's eagerly returned Naruto's gentle kiss on the lips as he encircled her in his arms. Withdrawing, they gazed intently into each other's eyes, both brimming with joy and love. With her arms encircling Naruto, Sarah's planted a kiss on him. I'm in love with you, Naruto. Kun, smiled Sarah's. And I love you, Sarah's, Naruto declared while pulling Sarah's onto his back while lying on his back. In each other's arms, they both dozed off without dreams. That same day, later. Just as Sakura came down the stairs and let out a shishing noise, Kakashi and the others were laughing. Sakura fought back a blush and said, Naruto. Kun and Sarah's sensei are asleep right now, which Tsunami assumed and supported Sakura with. Sasuke began to ascend the stairs, thinking, well, I guess I'll just have to wake them up, but Tsunami stopped him. Tsunami asked, if they are asleep, who are we to wake them up? In Sarah's and Naruto's room. When Naruto woke up, he sensed a tiny weight on his chest. When he opened his eyes, Sarah's was curled up against him as if he were a pillow. Naruto gave her a smile. Being close to her gave him the impression that everything was perfect, though he was unable to put it into words. She was startled awake when Naruto bent over and kissed her head. With a loving expression in her eyes, Sarah's leaned forward and gave Naruto a passionate kiss. She withdrew and grinned. With a startled expression on his waist, Sarah's asked, how are you feeling, Foxy? Kun? Naruto gave her a smile. Naruto kissed her once more and said, like I just woke up from having the best damn lovemaking ever. Excellent response. Let's get dressed now, Sarah stated, grabbing her scroll and putting on a tight black shirt, tight white pants, and gloves. After getting up and approaching from behind, Naruto hugged her and kissed her neck, causing Sarah's to groan a little. Naruto pulled away, slapping her behind, and said, I'll meet you downstairs, Sarah's. Chan, before dressing as usual. Below stairs. With a smile on her face, Sarah's hobbled down the stairs. It was obvious from her appearance that she was single. After reading his pornographic book, Kakashi coagulated a lucky bastard smile by getting into her pants. Damn, somebody tapped that ass, Kiba uttered, evoking laughter from Tizuna, blushing Tsunami and Sasuke, and a smile from Sakura. Mommy, what does that mean? Naively inquired Inari. Only to have Tsunami give him a head pat. Tsunami said, I'll tell you when you're older. As Sasuke got up and approached Sarah's, who was chatting with Sakura, he bowed. We can keep that under wraps for now, Kakashi said. To everyone's surprise, Sasuke said, I want to apologize for all the things I've said or done over the past few months. Everyone who had received ninja training raised their hands in the ram sign and yelled Kai, but nothing occurred. Alright, what made you do that? Sasuke inquired, surveying the group. Kiba spoke up, Sasuke Uchiha doesn't say I'm sorry. This has got to be a genjutsu, to which Akamaru responded with a bark. Sakura got on her knees and forced Sasuke to look into her eyes. Look, I knew I've been an ass, but after the shit that was said a few days ago it opened my eyes. I thought that because I lost my clan I had special treatment, but Sakura had it so much worse than I did and for that I'm sorry, Sakura said. Sakura said, your apology is accepted, Sasuke. Naruto said, Sasuke, you'd better not get any ideas about my sister, as Sasuke took a big bite. With the exception of Naruto and Sarah's, who erected a sound and vision barrier for the evening, everyone went up the stairs and fell asleep. Okay, then everyone up to bed. We have a long day tomorrow at the bridge, said Kakashi. The following day. Together, Sasuke, Naruto, Kiba, Tizuna, and Kakashi got ready to leave the house. Gato might have made the house a prime target, so Sakura and Sarah's had made the decision to stay and defend it. On the bridge. Upon reaching the bridge, the group discovered that numerous laborers had been rendered unconscious. Soon after, a dense fog moved in and out, revealing Zabuza, the young woman who saved him, and roughly 35 Gaddis mercenaries. So, pulling out Jackal, Gato sent in his ace with a couple of his goons, Naruto uttered. Then he removed the standard clip and took out a different one with a red seal on it. Naruto fired the gun, aiming it at Zabuza. The moment Zabuza and the girl leapt away, the mercs were left vulnerable. With the force of 5 explosive tags, the bullet that had struck a mercenary in the face burst. It caused extensive damage, killing 10 MRECs and seriously hurting the others. Drawing his sword, Naruto remarked, "I thought the damage would be less than that," as Zabuza and the girl reappeared. Zabuza pulled out his sword and said, "Interesting. He didn't use that thing in our last fight. Haku, he's mine, the others are yours. I'll defeat them, Zabuza. Sama," Haku declared while removing a few senbon needles. With a smile on his face, Naruto held his sword to his left while Zabuza lunged towards him. After a good 10 seconds of struggle, Naruto pushed his away and gave him a menacing look. With his sword in one hand and a kunai out of the other, Zabuza held them both. Zabuza used the kunai to chop up every shot that Naruto fired, totaling 6 shots. Zabuza ducked as Naruto leapt back and fired another shot. Zabuza glared at Jackal and exclaimed, "What the hell? There's no way something that little can hold whatever the hell those other things are." After a brief moment of laughter, Naruto took out his clip and slammed in a regular one. Holding the gun up and cocking it, Naruto said, "Every one of my clips has a seal on them that extends the capacity from the usual 7 to 24. As anticipated by the Hellsing house, Zabuza yelled, lunging once more towards Naruto. With Kiba and Haku Sasuke. Kiba and Sasuke stood and attempted to outmaneuver the girl in battle, but she was almost faster than Kiba. She appeared to be employing the teleportation jutsu. Kiba or Sasuke would fire a clan shot at her one moment, and then she would be gone. Sasuke and Kiba were standing side by side. Sasuke lamented, "Damn, she's getting annoying," as a senbon struck him in the arm. As the girl materialized in front of them, Kiba remarked, "I knew. With all this mist around, it's clearing the scent in the air, so it's hard to pinpoint her location." When both struck out with kunai, the Haku broke into ice. And for 10 people in a small group to encircle them. The Haku family exclaimed, "I have never known someone to be so cruel to a girl before." Lashing out with those kunai like that, as they all had enormous ice claws protruding from their hands. Kiba exclaimed, "This is bad." Kiba jumped into the air to allow Sasuke to fire the flowers in a full circle. "I'll take care of this." Fire style. Phoenix flower jutsu, Sasuke yelled. The ice clones were only partially destroyed. The clones remarked, "It takes more than that to destroy us." Kiba exclaimed, quickly executing all 3 jutsu, "Then let me have a go." Man. Beast clone, man. Beast transformation, ultimate taijutsu fang over fang. A pair of identical tornadoes began to circle, destroying every ice clone in their path. Once they had left, Haku materialized in front of them, performing quick hand syllables. "As the party is just getting started, don't get too cocky." Secret jutsu. Crystal ice sword, Haku said, causing a sophisticated rapier to materialize in front of her. The hilt was curved with a snowflake at the end, and the blade itself was made entirely of ice. She took the blade out and quickly slashed the ground, creating a tiny gash in the process. Sasuke lanced a large fireball at Haku and said, "Big deal." Fire style. Grand fireball jutsu. Haku successfully broke through a few one-handed seals. Haku said, "Secret ice style, mirror reflection jutsu," as a tiny mirror materialized in front of her and deflected the blow intended for the boys. Both Kiba and Sasuke dove, but Kiba began to make some hand signals, wind style, cutting vortex jutsu, which caused 3 tornadoes to materialize and stop the fireball. "Damn her?" Sasuke exclaimed, a momentary red flash in his eyes. Haku declared, "I'm done playing with you too." Secret jutsu crystal ice mirrors, as a dome of about 15 mirrors appeared around Kiba and Sasuke. Both got up and surveyed their surroundings, noting that a Haku holding a sword in one hand and a few senbon in the other could be seen in every mirror. Saying, "Now you die," Haku threw the senbon at them. Even though Kiba jumped out of the way, a senbon still struck him. Even with his poor performance, Sasuke was still hit by several needles. One even found its way into Akamaru's shoulder. A Kodachi provided resistance to Haku as she was about to sever Kiba in 2 as she dashed out of one of the mirrors. Haku noticed that the girl in front of her, who had 2 Kodachis in her hands, was deflecting her blow. With incredible strength, the girl with pink hair threw Haku back. Before moving, Haku did a backflip and landed in her mirror. Haku vowed, "Next time, I won't miss," as he readied himself for another attack. Sakura took a stance and said, bearing it on bitch. "No one messes with my friends and gets away with it." Returning with Naruto and Zabuza. Zabuza attempted an overhead strike, but Naruto blocked it and answered with a spinning downward strike that Zabuza was able to parry. Naruto leapt into the air and began to make some hand gestures. Fire style. Phoenix Flower Jutsu, Naruto yelled as he launched 100 tiny balls towards Zabuza. Beginning with the hand signs, Zabuza began to sign bird, horse, monkey, boar, tiger, hare, and serpent. Water style. Great Water Wall Jutsu, Zabuza exclaimed, just as a tremendous volume of water surged up and engulfed him, causing the tiny fireballs to fizzle out completely. Zabuza charged at Naruto at full speed, and as he ducked, he was caught with a slash to the chest, dropping blood to the ground. Naruto then retaliated with a slash to Zabuza's leg, albeit a shallow one that only slightly hurt. Zabuza punched Naruto hard in the jaw, causing blood to fly out. Naruto jumped back, only to find Zabuza brandishing his sword beneath his chin, which he avoided by flipping into the air.
Naruto charged at Zabuza and quickly head-butted him, causing him to bleed.
"Damn it, Shadow Clone Jutsu," Naruto uttered as he fell to the ground and raised his sword into a defensive stance. He then created 4 clones. "You're a really fascinating child. Enhancing that mid-C ranked jutsu to the point where it could compete with a low A ranked one." Zabuza said, "I have to admit, I'm impressed," as the clones charged towards him. Naruto said, "Getting ready for another attack, I'm going to make you pay. That was my favorite shirt and jacket, asshole." Zabuza was forced into a stalemate by the first clone, while the other 2 dropped low and attempted to chop off his legs. When Zabuza jumped up, he was met by the final 2, who were coming at him from both sides with blades aimed at his head. He used his sword to stop the second one and his chakra enabled arm to stop the back one. Although he would not be able to use his arm for the remainder of the fight, it was still a great deal compared to losing his head. After landing and seeing that the clones had surrounded him in 4 places, Zabuza raised his sword in preparation for combat and noticed the original standing slightly to one side. "Stay put. Those are exploding clones, not the shadow clones you battled. Abundant with chakra, enough to turn a medium-sized village to ruins. Do you give up?" With wide eyes, Zabuza asked Naruto. "He defeated me. He really did defeat me. He didn't outsmart me or outclass me in jutsu. No, he outmaneuvered me. With my broken arm, I can't use the replacement, and the moment I charge those clones, they go up and I go with them," Zabuza thought. "I swear as the leader of the Momochi clan to serve the Hellsing family as long as they need the Momochi clan," Zabuza uttered as he dropped to one knee and the clones began to rise. "Sakura, you can stop playing with Haku-chan right now." Sarah's appeared beside Naruto. With a blade to each other's throats, Sakura had lacerations all over her chest, while Haku's battle kimono was dangling, revealing a small cleavage, and her pants were severely torn. Naruto thought, must have been desperate to use that attack on Haku. Clapping interrupted Naruto's thoughts as everyone turned to see a man in a suit holding a cane. He had some of the funkiest hair you've ever seen, and behind him were about 200 mercenaries and what appeared to be 2 missing nins of the genin level. "You asshole, who the fuck are you? Coming up here and interfering with our fight?" Naruto asked, aiming his sword at the man. A midget wearing a suit, Kiba remarked cynically. Everyone on their side laughed when Kakashi said, "More like a shrimp with a fancy stick," with the exception of Zabuza and Tazuna, who had turned completely white. "Gato," simultaneously uttered Tazuna and Haku Zabuza. Gato grinned and said, "Thank you for that introduction," pointing to each of the women. "It doesn't matter if it was the actual death freaking god. No one gets to stop me from fighting. Can you still fight, Zabuza?" Assuming a commanding tone as though he and Zabuza had never fought, Naruto asked. "Yes, Lord Hellsing. One arm is working great, but I only need one to kill those damn pigs," Zabuza uttered, sensing Naruto's strength in his voice. "I want Sakura Haku to deal with that garbage that dare to call themselves ninja, and I want you, Kakashi and Sarah's, to deal with those bandits." As Naruto got ready for battle, he declared, "I'm taking Gato out before he can run." He then grew to be at least 7 feet, and one of the mercs handed him an axe with a 4-foot stick on it. Gato began to laugh as he then pulled off his jacket and shirt, leaving him in only a tank top. Let's check out your brat. I'm putting all these girls to bed after I kill you. They're going to help my men after I fuck them all one at a time, making 2 of them watch at once. Gato shot a bullet past his cheek and saw Naruto with a black gun in his left hand and a smoking silver gun in his right, saying, after we're done, they're going to the slave rings along with all the nice young village girls. Glancing down, Naruto holstered Joshua, took out his shades and hat, put them on, and gave Gato a barely perceptible glare. You Gato have bled this land dry, he said. Even the infinitely forgiving God is unlikely to pardon you for the transgressions you've mentioned. I won't forgive you for threatening my sister, my friend, and my mate. Naruto charged at Gato. Gato raised and lowered the axe, only for Naruto to slide past it and insert 2 bullets into Gato's chest. Before he could stand, he positioned the guns to either side of Gato and began firing, but each shot found its mark. Naruto felt the click of his guns, indicating that he had wasted all of his ammunition, and he let the clips fall out, about to reload them, when a hand grabbed the back of his shirt and propelled him a good 10 meters away. After rolling around on the ground for a while, Naruto managed to get up onto his knees and looked up, panting, to see that Gato had thrown him and that the 2 bullets that had been in his chest had come out. Gato then looked at Naruto with a rather enraged expression. That hurt you little bastard, Gato remarked, massaging the 2 bullet holes in his chest. Naruto said, it was supposed to kill you, Gato, to which Gato responded with another sly grin and 2 extremely long and sharp K9s. I believe it was all related to my little companion, which I had implanted into my body some time ago. A tiny black chip with hundreds of lines, uttered Gato upon seeing Sarah's beside Naruto. So your body contains some kind of weird chip? Recalling them, Sarah's muttered while clenching her teeth. Name it whatever you like. I refer to it as an approach to increase wealth and power. Gato laughed and said, maybe I'll try and mass produce it and sell it to those ninja villages. Not what you want. I promise never to let those things go back in the world. Throw your gun at me, Sakura, Sarah's uttered. When Sakura heard Sarah's, she pulled out her gun and threw it to her opponent, who had just been stabbed in the left kidney. After Naruto took 2 explosive clips and put them in both guns, he threw Joshua to Sarah's and brandished his sword. Sarah's grabbed the gun and fired 10 bullets at Gato, who appeared unfazed by them. As he charged Gato, Naruto yelled, cover me. Naruto was on him in a second, blasting Gato in the head before he jumped back and used the cutting vortex to chop his body into even more pieces. Sarah's unloaded the clip into Gato's arms, legs, and chest area, but they all exploded, making Gato yell out in pain. Where do you think you're going? The remaining MRECS knew they were up against a monster, but they didn't know how bad it was until they ran to the boat. Gato's voice rang out. I knew some guys never say die, but this is ridiculous, Naruto growled at Gato as Sarah's turned to face him. Everyone turned their heads and saw him reforming from what was left of his body. Hypocrite, Sarah's uttered while glancing at Naruto. Anyhow. Naruto stopped on the ram as a massive tornado encircled Gato. I wanted to try out this new jutsu anyway, he said as he began to proceed through a long chain of hand signs. Is this brat trying to scare me? Searching for a way out, Gato asked. No. The first part to your death, Naruto uttered as the tornado grew closer to Gato. A small fire broke out at the base, and lightning, water, and earth began to mix. Brat, what the hell? Please release me. You can have anything you want from me. Cash, authority, and a seat at my right hand. Please, please, just let me live. Gato shouted over the noises produced by the tornado. What number of women have pleaded with you to cease raping them? To what extent have men pleaded with you to spare their lives? How many kids pleaded to be spared from slavery? Naruto said, now that you're standing here pleading like they did, I won't listen, just like you did to them. The elements then flowed away from Gato. I assumed you wouldn't pay attention to him? As all the components reformed into Naruto's hands, Tazuna inquired. Gato said, thank you for sparing me, Sama, and reached for a kunai he carried in his back pocket. Gato, I didn't forgive you. The last thing anyone saw or heard of Gato was that he was on his knees, screaming in pain. Oblivion style. Elemental chain destruction jutsu, declared Naruto as the attack flowed at Gato in the shape of a tornado with the other elements swirling around it. Naruto turned to look behind him and saw a group of people with makeshift weapons led by Inari and Tsunami, who had a sword in her hands and was staring at the ground with their jaws dropped. When the attack subsided, nothing was left, not even ashes. I said that bastard wouldn't be forgiven, and I meant every word of it. Naruto grinned at them before closing his eyes and tumbling forward, only to have Sarah's embrace him tenderly. You deserve to rest, Naruto. Kun, Sarah's remarked as the people of Wave began chanting Naruto's name. Does that mean that we're still Zabuza? Sama? Asked Haku, but all Zabuza did was look at her. First things first, fix your fucking kimono. Second, we already know where we're going. I'm returning to Konoha and will use my sword to take on any issues the punks on the council may have, Zabuza declared, causing Haku to grin. I pledged my allegiance to Lord Hellsing over there. 4 days subsequently. With a groan, Naruto opened his eyes, sat up, and looked around, realizing that he was in his room at Tezuna's house, that someone was holding his hand, and when he looked down, he saw that it was Sarah's, who was sound asleep, that Naruto had awakened her with a smile and a kiss on the top of her head. Sarah's looked up, saw that Naruto was smiling, and she immediately leapt up to embrace him. With a small cry, Sarah said, "Damn it Naruto, you scared me," into Naruto's chest. Hush. Sarah's continued to cry a little bit and think about God, but Naruto comforted her, saying, I'm alright, Sarah's. Chan, so there's no need to worry. When the door opened, Haku and Zabuza entered. However, they were both covered in bandages and had lost their headbands. So you've woken up at last, Naruto. Sama? Haku said, bending slightly. Hey, you two. How are things going? As Sarah's withdrew from his chest, Naruto spoke. Zabuza approached Naruto and gave him a hard look, saying, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Hurry up and finish healing Lord Hellsing. I'll start with your chakra reserves and work my way down to teaching you and your sister how to wield a sword. I was only defeated by your seer luck and trapping. Sometimes that won't work, Zabuza stated. After getting out of bed, Naruto pulled off all of his bandages, revealing no scars, and he grabbed his blue coat and shirt, leaving his vest sealed for the time being. This caused Haku to blush and Sarah to stare at him hungrily. Let's go downstairs, Naruto said, making the crowd go wild as he made his way to the bridge. What the fuck are y'all looking at, he said, walking down the stairs and out the front door and seeing a bunch of people there in odd silence. They halted what they were doing and Sakura ran up to her brother, giving him an embrace and a kiss on the cheek. Kiba gave Naruto a low five, and Sasuke just smirked before showing Naruto his Sharingan. Sakura was standing at the bridge, casually talking with Kiba and Sasuke, and Kakashi was reading his porn. Gazing at Kakashi, Zabuza said, I hope you don't mind, but we'll be traveling with you guys. With a smile, Sarah said, that won't be a problem for us, and they left. What is the proper name for this bridge? Tsunami inquired, glancing at her more closely. Well, call it the Hellsing Bridge in honor of the Hellsing family, replied Tezuna, receiving applause from the crowd, as he pulled out a picture of Sakura holding her sheath in her hand and her kodachi out and slightly bent, and Naruto with his pistols crossed over his chest and his legs slightly apart. Along the street. Sakura and Naruto both sneezed. Are you okay, Sakura? Chan and Naruto. Sama? Haku inquired. Somebody is talking about us, said Naruto and Sakura at the same time. While traveling to Konoha. 3 days had passed since the group had left Wave, but instead of rushing home, they chose to walk. Other than Zabuza and Kakashi squabbling over Kakashi's little orange book, not much had happened. Sarah's conversed mainly with Sakura and Haku, while Kiba and Naruto were just trying to outsmart each other. Naruto heard a tiny yip as they were enjoying lunch in a clearing in the forest. Evidently Kiba and Sarah's heard about it and hurried to the scene. They observed a large brown wolf with a hungry expression in his eyes engaged in combat with 2 small fox kits. The first kit had 2 tails, which made it unusual. It was all black with white paw tips and a patch of white fur covering its right eye. The other kit had 2 tails and was entirely white, with a tinge of blue around its body where its paws met. However, this kit was bleeding. With an apparent attempt to scare the wolf, the black kit stood in front of the white one and growled at it. As she struggled to break free of her cage to aid her siblings, Yoko exclaimed, Naruto. Kun, those are my younger siblings. Please save them, please. I'll take out that bastard wolf before you knew it, Yoko. Chan, said Naruto. The kits were jumped by the wolf. The wolf was about to be slammed into the ground when Naruto leapt into the path and grabbed him by the throat. At that point, Kiba and Akamaru leapt on the wolf to halt any more attacks. Sarah stepped away from the big wolf, gathering both kits in her arms. She noticed that they were both hurt. The white one appeared to be bleeding from its left side based on its bite marks, while the black one had a small gash on his left back leg. "Let's go. These two are pretty badly injured," Sarah said, taking the kits and running off. Naruto and Kiba are not far behind. With a slight lift of its head, the white one turned to face Naruto. The white one said, "Thank you, Naruto Sama," before collapsing. They hurried back to camp and made their way toward Haku. Naruto begged, "Haku-chan, you have some medical knowledge, can you help these two?" Haku said, "I'll try, Naruto-kun," as Sarah's laid a blanket down for the kid's comfort. Swiftly, she performed a jutsu over them. The white one, however, is in more serious danger. "It has massive blood loss, and if we use a blood pill on it that could be dangerous," Haku said, pulling out a red bag with a picture of a dog on it. "The black one has a busted ankle and apart from the gash is good. I always carry extra animal blood pills because Akamaru is injured and losing blood," Kiba said, passing one to the other. The white kit refused to accept the pills from Haku even after she woke it up. Naruto took the pills and gave them to the group of people. After giving Naruto a quick glance, the kit nodded, swallowed the pills, and then retreated into the dream world. Haku then took some time to bandage their wounds to prevent infection. As the sun began to set, Haku said, "Now all we can do is wait for them to get up." Zabuza got up and snatched up his blade. "I want my belly full if we're here for a while, so I'm getting fish to eat," Zabuza declared as he turned to leave. "He seems a little strange," Kakashi remarked, drawing attention to himself. "You call him wired when you read porn and hide your face?" Sakura asked, causing Kakashi to grin. "I'm wearing a mask to keep the fangirls away," laughed Kakashi. At his words, everyone's perspiration fell. Everyone thought, you can find someone like him only in Konoha. In Naruto's thoughts, Yoko was sobbing uncontrollably while seated on the ground. Why, if you may inquire? Her younger siblings had been harmed, she had ruined the life of the young man she was currently trapped with, she would go into heat in less than a week, and the only person who could help her was the person she wanted to mate with but was currently trapped with. Yoko yelled, swatting at the bars with her tails and claws, "Damn it, I want out now." Alucard appeared next to her, his sly grin on full display. "You're making a big ruckus. So you want to be free, huh, Yoko-chan?" he asked. Yoko wrapped him in her tails. As Alucard ducked away from her, Yoko yelled, "You're damn right, I want out, you blood-drinking prick. I also want Naruto-kun to be my mate." Alucard grinned. "You're in luck, my dear. You see, as the last of the House of Hellsing, or in this day and age the Hellsing clan, Naruto is allowed more than one maid or wife, as those humans call them. I can also help you get free. You see, the seal is designed to hold a soul at bay. I can switch places with you, but most of your power is still locked away, so you'll only have about 3 tails of your power. Another thing. Once you're out you will have a flesh and blood body again," Alucard said with a handout. Kyuubi said, "I accept your deal, Alucard," and took it. Naruto's entire world began to shift in an instant. The cage and paper seal turned to dust, transforming into handcuffs for Alucard, and a choker around Yoko's neck. Alucard yelled, pushing her out of Naruto's body and mind. "The deal is complete. Enjoy your second chance at life, Yoko. The actual world." Just as Naruto opened his mouth to bite into his fish, a tremendous wave of pain and chakra washed over him. Beside him, a reddish orange chakra began to form as Naruto let out a painful yell. Anyone who witnessed this was taken aback. Just as Kakashi was about to apply a seal, Naruto's scream subsided and the chakra ceased to form. Beside Naruto stood a girl who appeared to be 16 years old. She was 5 feet 7 inches tall, had a slender build and a massive chest. Her long red hair did not conceal the 3 red tails that protruded from her tailbone. When she looked up, her eyes were as red as Kurenai's, and despite her nude appearance, nobody seemed to care. She said to Naruto, "I'm finally out and can be with you at last, Naruto-kun," just before she passed out. After dropping to his knees, Naruto covered her with his jacket and said, "Zabuza." I want you to give this girl your entire life as a guardian. I have no idea what the hell is going on. You are to kill anyone who approaches her. Zabuza, am I clear? Sure, he was exhausted, but Naruto still held authority. Understood, Lord Hellsing, Zabuza uttered as Naruto fell forward, and the strange thing was that both of his eyes blazed with hate, anger, and rage. Sarah's caught him as Kakashi lifted his headband from over his Sharingan. He drew out a kunai and charged at Yoko, only to have Sarah's and Zabuza stand in his way. Sakura's gun was aimed at Kakashi's Sharingan, and Zabuza had his sword raised, ready to fight if Kakashi approached the girl. What are you doing? That thing killed my sensei and wrecked countless lives. In a harsh and agitated tone, Kakashi declared, it must be eliminated from this planet or it may attack Konoha once more. You are not allowed to hurt Kakashi. San. Keep in mind, there are two of us and one of you, Sarah's uttered, causing Kakashi to squint.
Zabuza stood watch, his guard up.
Besides, Lord Hellsing asked me to guard her, so guard her I will, he said. Kakashi walked over to a tree and laid down, still glaring at Yoko. Fine. Do what you have to, but when Naruto wakes up we are going to have a very long talk, he said. Naruto's thoughts. Damn, it feels like I got hit by one of Iruka Sensei's famous combo jutsu, declared Naruto as he looked around, his eyes widening and his body shooting upward. His mind was no longer a swear. Instead, it resembled an ancient castle that held the seal of Hellsing. A guard stood in front of the gates, and he saluted Naruto when he saw him. Lord Hellsing. The man said, Sir Integra and Alucard are waiting for you in Sir Integra's office. Right, please direct me to the office, Naruto said to the man, who had a green uniform and a Hellsing patch on his right arm. Naruto had no idea who this man was. Hello Lord Naruto, the man who had led Naruto to the office said, greeting him at the door. It was the same man from the picture. For a considerable amount of time, Sir Integra has been observing you, the man bowed. You mean Walter? Gesturing to the man, Naruto said. Indeed. I used to be Hellsing's best vampire hunter. After retiring, I lived out the rest of my days serving Sir Integra, just as I had her father. Making Alucard and Saras's weapons was another way I helped them. I apologize, Walter said, tapping on the door. The voice said, enter, and it was feminine but strong. When Naruto entered the room, he saw Alucard standing behind a woman with bright blonde hair falling to her shoulders, strong blue eyes that seemed hard yet held a deep sadness, and a small tear running down her face as she smiled at Naruto. I guess sadness runs in the family, Naruto said, grinning at Integra. You'd be right, Lord Naruto, Integra said, standing up and giving a hug to Naruto. Alucard grinned in response. I need to know what the hell is going on, please. Naruto spoke as he sat down across from Integra. That's easy, Maya, I guess I'd call you son. Currently your mind is still getting used to the changes, so I was able to break the realm's barrier with God's permission of Kraus and see you. Also Alucard made a deal with Kyuubi that set her free in exchange binding him to you, said Integra with a grin. She was desperate, plus I didn't want to see someone caged. I know what that's like, Alucard said. Integra said, oh, please stop crying so we can talk to Naruto. Naruto said, that would be great. Mom, as they conversed for what felt like hours. Sadly, Naruto's mind was about to complete the task it had begun, forcing Walter, Integra, and the other Hellsing members to depart. While Integra kissed Naruto on the cheek and gave Alucard a full-fledged kiss and embrace, Walter gave Naruto specs for weapons and other items. Alucard said, I'm sorry, Integra, but I probably won't see you again. As she started to fade, Integra gave him a smile. Integra kissed him and faded completely, saying, that's what you said last time, Alucard, and here we are now. Goodbye for now, my love. Naruto said, I can understand why you fell in love with Hera. Alucard as a strong and compassionate person. Alucard grinned back at him. I loved and still love Integra, because she was probably the only person who could understand me, Alucard said, a tear streaming from his eye. Sometimes you can't choose who you love. You should leave now, darling. You don't want your friends to be concerned about you, Alucard urged Naruto as he shoved him from his mindscape. In the actual world. With a jolt, Naruto came awake. It was dawning on him as he looked around. Sitting beside him in his jacket, but with all the buttons fastened, was Yoko. She had a joyful smile on her face and her tails were waving. Naruto greeted him, "Hello Yoko." Chan, as she tackled him. Yoko interrupted everyone and said, "Hello Naruto. Kun, now that I'm free we can be mates and have many kids together." Naruto exclaimed, "What?" as Kyuubi kissed him before restraining herself. Saras's perception was blazing hell red rather than just red. She pulled Yoko away for a brief conversation, grabbing her by the tails. About 30 feet in, Saras released Yoko and threw her against a tree, pinning her own body to Yoko's. Saras glared at a smiling Yoko. "What the bloody hell do you think you're doing to my mate?" Kyuubi said, glancing at Saras's body, "Oh, you must be Saras. You're much cuter than Naruto's memories show." Blushed Saras. D. "Don't change the subject here," a sultry Saras exclaimed. "Alright. You see, Naruto can mate with more than one woman. A lot more since he's now head of the Hellsing family. You are his undisputed first mate and I won't take that from you. As a matter of fact, I enjoyed the show you two put on a few days ago. I could smell your virgin essence the second you and Naruto started mating. I can't blame him for ravaging your body like he did. Just looking at you is making me want to do some very naughty things to you right now. You can stay his mate, but I want him as well. Maybe one day I'll play with you two little Saras." Yoko was kissing Saras. As a result of her shock, Saras released Yoko's arms. With a sly smile, Yoko released herself from the kiss and rotated, pinning Saras to the tree. She moved Saras's arms up and down his body before forcing her tongue into his mouth, causing Saras to mutter a little. Yoko withdrew, grinning, and leaned into Saras's ear. Yoko withdrew, leaving Saras horny and weak in the knees. "If you're a good girl and share Naruto Kun with me and others, I'll make sure you're rewarded nicely," she said. As Saras was able to regain her composure, she said, "Okay, I agree." As they made their way back to the camp, they noticed Kakashi simply glaring at them, Sakura and Sasuke chatting with Kiba, Zabuza and Haku hiding their tracks, and Naruto giving them a grin. Naruto asked, "You two get things worked out?" as Yoko approached him and gave him a passionate kiss on the lips. Kyuubi kissed him again and said, "Yes, we did. You have to keep your promise to this horny, sexy vixen that I knew you wanted to play with." Outraged Kakashi exclaimed, "Aren't you going to stop her? She's kissing on Naruto like she's his woman." Kakashi thought, how dare that demon whore kiss Sensei's son. Kakashi made Saras laugh. Walking over to Naruto and kissing him, Saras said, "Well, she is the woman who spent a lifetime with him even if it was short. Besides, Naruto is still my mate." She then sat on Naruto's lap and gave him a little shove. "That motherfucker works fast," saw Kiba, who was a little envious. Sakura, wearing a perverted smile, thought, "Damn it, brother got another girl to fuck. I wonder will he let me try them out later?" Thinking on the perverted side of Sasuke's mind, "I think I'll take some of my fangirls up on their offers. If that's as good as it looks then sex must be freaking amazing." Naruto turned to observe the looks on everyone's faces. The looks on the faces of Sakura, Sasuke, Zabuza, and Kiba were encouraging. Haku appeared somewhat disappointed but still happy, and Kakashi looked like murderesses. Naruto scowled at Kakashi and said, "Kakashi, you will stop glaring at Yoko Chan like you are. It's very rude. Naruto, that woman killed Sensei. She killed your father and many others," Kakashi uttered as Naruto rose to his feet, brandishing a menacing black chakra in the shape of a panther with hints of red. First of all, Naruto shocked everyone by saying, "Yoko did no such thing Kakashi," leading them to believe he had lost his mind. But, Kakashi began, but she was interrupted. No buts. Instead of attacking Yoko, the Shinobi and Kunoichi should have been more concerned about getting the villagers away. No, the whole of Konoha's military might went into offensive formation. If they had just used a small force to attack and the bulk to get civilians away, the village would have been lost and few Shinobi would have died. As for my father, Yoko didn't kill him. He committed suicide to stop her, but instead of taking one life he took 3. "Thank on that Kakashi," said Naruto as he took out the white gear and Yoko took out the black one. There was silence for the remainder of the journey to Konoha. 3 miles from the gates of Konoha. With a yawn, the white kid awakened in Naruto's arms. It turned to face Naruto after scanning the area. Leaping out of Naruto's arms, the kit metamorphosed. A little girl, about 7 years old, stood in front of the group. She had long white hair with blue bangs, blue eyes, and a blue shirt with the words "Two Tails Glory" printed on the front and 2 white tails on the back. She was also wearing blue jean shorts and shinobi shoes. When the girl yawned, Yoko embraced her and threw the black kit into the air, causing it to transform. It was a boy, maybe 7 years old, with cropped black hair with white highlights, blue eyes, a red shirt with the words "Two is tougher than one" on the front, brown pants, and shinobi shoes. When it hit the ground, it landed like an acrobat. "Misato. Chan, are you awake?" Yoko exclaimed, embracing the small child and whirling her around until she burst out laughing. A chuckling Misato exclaimed, "Nay." Chan put me down, as she was launched into the air and captured. "You're still as goofy as ever, Nay." Chan, the boy grinned at his bigger sister. "I haven't forgotten about you, Raisin." "Kun," Yoko remarked as she began to tickle her sibling, causing him to burst out laughing. They headed to the village after the games and fun ended. When they arrived at the gates, they noticed Chunin and a Jonin working the gates, but the Jonin was wired to be wearing a red vest. Kakashi said, "Hey you there, how are you out of uniform?" He had a commanding rank because he was a senior Jonin. With a cigar in hand, the Jonin lit it. "New stranded dress for Jonin. It was decided about a day after you left. Your team and guests are to go right to the Hokage Tower. Also Lord Hellsing is expected in a meeting with the council after he talks with the Hokage," stated the Jonin. "I never managed to bring the Invet to a meeting," scowled Naruto. "Tough. Between us all the civilian council is getting a little too full of themselves and the shinobi from the clans or families without military background are on their side," said the Chunin with a scowl. As they started their walk to the Hokage's tower, Kiba remarked, "It's a real shame when people like that are given power." Sasuke said, "Haku. Chan, keep your bloodline hidden unless you want the council to turn you into breeding stock," understanding the lengths they would go to in order to control a bloodline. "The minute they touch her they will feel the wrath of the demon hidden in the mist," Zabuza yelled. As Yoko turned to face Sakura and Sarah's, Naruto remarked, "No, they won't feel that wrath. They shall feel the power of Hellsing on their heads, and I have a lot of extra power today." Yoko slipped her arms out of the ridiculously large sleeves and said, "Can I borrow some clothes? I like Naruto Kun's jacket and all, but I need something to wear." Saying, "Come with me real quick," Sakura pulled her into the hot springs. After 15 minutes, they emerged, with Yoko dressed in a red top that fit her like a glove, a sleeveless black coat, long black stockings, high heels, and a blue jean skirt. Raising an eyebrow, Naruto gave them both a quick glance. Naruto said, "I'd like my coat back, but I'm not going to ask why," as Yoko handed it to him. After Naruto put it on, they strolled over to the Hokage Tower. Within the Tower of Hokage, Sarutobi was furious, as were all of the Shinobi Council members. To become a more powerful force, the council had ordered that each clan give up 25 million ryu of their family fortune. Who in the hell do they think they're fooling? Most council members may buy that bullshit, but that was a tactic that the Mizuki used to fuel his bloodline campaign. The former clan's blood money. "I think the council is planning something," Sarutobi believed. Few people were aware that Sarutobi had a spy in the mist prior to the attack. She provided them with all the information they required to launch a recurrent campaign, but before the Leaf could intervene and rescue them from the bloody mist, the majority of the clans had already perished. There was a knock on Sarutobi's door. "Come in," Sarutobi said, lighting his pipe. Kakashi chose to remain silent about who they truly were. Team 7 reporting with A. Rank missing. Nin Zabuza Momochi and his adopted daughter Haku Momochi. As well as Yoko, her younger siblings Raisin and Misato, she stated. "Well, that's unfortunate. I'm sure Zabuza could serve a month. Long probationary period. Haku could choose to become a ninja at first. I'm not sure what Miss Yoko and her siblings will do. Sir, I really would prefer to be a civilian. I want to change the past because my family was torn apart by the war. I've had some training in fighting techniques," Yoko admitted, half truthfully. Sarutobi removed his pipe and said, "That makes sense. My boys ignored me even though I didn't want them to become ninjas." Sensing I was attempting to restrict them, Sarutobi reminisced about the pleasant past times. "I want to visit the academy, old man Hokage," Raisin said, flashing a flirtatious smile at Sarutobi. Has Naruto begun training his successor yet? God forbid. Merely the paperwork delayed me by 3 months, Sarutobi pondered. I think I'll just go to a normal school, Misato declared, grinning as endearing as she could. Sarutobi gave Haku 3 red vests and a slip of paper, saying, depending on what you want, all you have to do is write it down and send it back to me and I'll see what I can do. That's all up to your sister as she is your legal guardian, Sarutobi continued, handing Haku the paperwork. Yes, sir, Haku replied as the door opened and a furious Heishi entered. Hokage. Some of those pricks on the civilian council are starting up the meeting without you or Lord Hellsing present, trying to pull some power moves, Heishi said as he went up in flames. Sakura said, it was a shadow clone. Not at all. Bring the twins home with you, Kiba.
Kiba nodded as Naruto said, I don't want them to be used as hostages if this meeting turns into a bloodbath.
As an Inzuka, I promise you that nothing bad will happen to them, Kiba declared as he led them out. Lead the way. As they left, Naruto remarked, I'm going to teach those bastards about messing with me. Council chambers. With a smug smile on his face, Danzo knew that he had the support of the civilian council, just over 43% of Konoha's military force, excluding his own roots Anbu, and neither Sarutobi nor Hellsing could stop him. The door opened and Sarutobi entered, accompanied by Naruto, Sakura, Kakashi, Sarah's, Zabuza, and 2 unidentified girls. They appeared prepared to destroy the council chambers as the final decisions were about to be made. Those 2 individuals, who are they? Asking. Haruno stood up and gestured for Haku and Yoko with her finger. Haku is the other person, and this is Yoko. Following the wave mission, both of them came here with our group, Naruto remarked, receiving a chilling smile from Haruno. How sweat it would look better on a devil than on me, but my fiancé copyright brought in 2 little harlots to help revive the Hellsing clan, along with myself, Haruno said, grinning pitifully. Infuriated, Sarah's drew her borrowed pistol and exclaimed, you piece of trash, what the hell did you just say? Yelled Sarah's, allowing her fangs to erupt and subtly releasing some of her powers. With a quick step, Naruto moved in front of her, made her drop the gun, and then he whispered kind and gentle words into her ear before turning on the council. Counselor Haruno, what does this mean? Driving my friend crazy with worry. As the dark aura materialized, Naruto spoke. You see, it was our decision to only pair you up with bred women from great clans and not just little whores from the streets, Haruno said, grinning even wider. It was therefore decided that I would wed you. Takane Haruno Hellsing, future lady of Naruto. Kun? With a giggle like a schoolgirl, Haruno said. I never said the council could pair me as they saw fit, Naruto said, pinning her with a glare on his hand that was itching to take Jackal and blow her brains out. I am neither your puppet nor your toy to play with as you please. Anything the council planned is void as of right now since you are nothing to me, Naruto yelled, barely stopping himself from shooting them all. Come on, boy, stop being stupid. The best way to establish your clan is undoubtedly to pair you up with an older woman. Better still, she knew how to raise a child because she was older and had one already. Danzo remarked, we could get a few kids out of Takane, but Yoko intervened. I apologize, but he is already engaged to 2 women. Sarah's Victoria and I, Yoko uttered, placing her hand over her heart. What kind of mother would you make? Grinned Haruno. You're a ninja, and ninja die all the time, Haruno uttered, only to have Yoko's tails pin him to the wall, causing everyone to gasp. Yoko's eyes briefly flashed red. I am no ninja, but with my bloodline I could easily level Konoha, so don't play with me you pricks, she said. Danzo leapt to his feet and began a series of one-handed hand signals, saying, water-style great bullet. Danzo yelled, pointing at Yoko. Enough. Said Naruto, drawing his sword and severing it in 2. I will give you one warning, council. Like my ancestral mother Integra, I have limited patience. Should you ever attempt anything similar again, that implies that I will bring you all down without even batting an eyelash if you so much as touch a hair on someone I care about. When everyone returned to Sarutobi's office, he promptly dismissed everyone with the exception of Naruto, who took a seat in front of him. Said Naruto as everyone left. Naruto will inevitably happen. There will be a war. It's here in these ancient bones. The council will be the enemy, Sarutobi declared, pulling out a pipe. Naruto took out a folder and said, "Then it's time I started my own plans and you prepare as well." "What plans does Naruto have?" queried Sarutobi. "The plans for the Hellsing organization's revival, of course," Naruto uttered while Sarutobi unfolded the document. After reading it, Sarutobi grinned. That evening later. Other members were there, but only to observe. Takane Haruno, Danzo, and Orochimaru, who served as their commander and recruiter, were the only people in Haruno's living room who could help them win the war and take control of Konoha. "Orochimaru, the time is almost here. You can have the Uchiha child after I bear a child soon thanks to the Hellsing seed inside of me," Haruno remarked. "Naturally, but I also require Hellsing." Orochimaru laughed. "I could use my 3 very strong girls to breed powerful bodies for myself. We ought to get going shortly." "Is Stone and Cloud in on this?" Danzo questioned as Haruno retreated. "Stone wants to crush the leaf, but only when it is at its strongest. Cloud is not angry with the leaf because it was all business. They have been operating slave rings covertly." Orochimaru stated, "There's a rumor that they own a container." "Which one?" inquired Haruno with a curious tone. "The 4-tailed eagle. Why? Runa is the girl who has it sealed in. Together with Sans Gara of the Sans and Cloud's Yugito Ni, she will be here in 3 months to take the Chunin exam," Danzo stated. Hum. That is ideal. We can never hope for more than 4 containers going to war in this village, so I'm letting 2 of my more capable and reliable guards to take the Chunin exams. Kimimaro and Tayuya. Konoha will then belong to us, Orochimaru declared. "Indeed. I'll soon have those 2 slutty people who dared to take my fiancé away from me in addition to that spiteful bitch Sakura back under my control. I'll allow our forces to use them so much that they won't be able to walk again," smiled Haruno. Naruto's residence. Naruto had just finished an exercise regimen that Alucard had devised in his free time. Naruto got to his feet and checked his calendar. After the incident with the council, it had been almost 5 days, and Naruto's team was still on leave for 2 weeks. Additionally, the civilian council attempted to force Naruto into a marriage with Haruno, but that was thwarted when he was threatened with leaving the village. When Naruto did see Haruno, it seemed as though she was making an effort to flirt with him, mostly just by swaying her hips slightly. After entering his room, Naruto got a towel and descended the stairs. Unbeknownst to many, Naruto was equipped with a library, hot springs, and a dojo. In order to make room for the expansion and repair of his current building, Naruto had brought out and cleared out a number of condemned buildings that were taking up space in the neighborhood. There were now 10 3-bedroom apartments on each floor. There was a cover-me-up seal around the hot springs that kept people from peering inside. Here, there are no free shows. As he descended, his thoughts turned to Yoko. They got along just great and everything. She also had a great sense of kindness and compassion and was a huge joker. They occasionally exchanged a few quick kisses. Even Sarah's was left weak at the knees by Yoko's gift of them. The only person who could summon Naruto with one was her. Even so, the final one gave him shivers. It goes without saying that the number of his fangirls multiplied tenfold on the day she had placed a genjutsu on him and allowed him to move around. After taking off his clothes, Naruto got ready to enter the hot springs. Upon opening the door, he discovered Yoko, naked, floating in the steaming water with her arms draped over her head. The man downstairs was pleased with what he saw. Naruto said, "Hello Yoko-chan," as he slid into the water. Yoko raised her head and smiled seductively at Naruto. "Damn, he looks so good, I just want to know Yoko-chan hold it. I can't do it anymore. Being near him like this makes me want to mate him even more, but what if you get pregnant?" "I'll just deal with it, besides I can stop it with a simple jutsu, alright, but try not to be too horny," Yoko thought to herself while swimming toward Naruto. Yoko asked as she got out of the water and put her arms around Naruto. Kun's neck to give it a kiss. "How are you doing, Naruto?" "Kun?" Naruto responded, "Yoko-chan, I'm doing good." "That's BS if I've ever heard it. How many guys would kill to be in this hot spring setting, getting kissed by a smoking hot chick?" As Yoko stopped kissing his neck, Naruto thought to himself. Yoko said, "Naruto-kun, mate with me now," as she climbed into his lap and felt his tool. "Yoko-chan, are you certain?" asked Naruto, giving him a kiss. The only person I would ever think about mating with is you. I was the one who knew your life the best. Please allow me into your heart. I know your secrets, your pain, your fears, and your hopes, Yoko said, planting a kiss on Naruto's forehead. How was that, Yoko? Chan? Naruto asked, planting a kiss on Yoko's neck. Let's just say that I'm glad you'll be the first man I've ever had sex with, Yoko said, kissing Naruto as she smiled and put her arms around him. Clank. Breaking their kiss, Naruto and Yoko turned to face a red-faced, open mouthed woman wrapped in a towel. The woman was approximately 5 feet 6 with DD. Cup assets, long brown hair in a braid, brown eyes, and orange markings on her cheeks. Naruto took a big swallow. Hello, Rin. San, uttered Naruto and Yoko as they both got up completely nude. The fact that he was perfectly erect didn't help. Rin covered her eyes and gave a little scream. Rin cried out, Naruto. Kun, please cover up. Both Yoko and Naruto snatched up towels and wrapped them around themselves. Yoko said, all right, Rin. San, we're covered up now, as Rin revealed her eyes. Rin said as she turned to leave, I'll see you two upstairs in my apparent on the 4th floor. Naruto is really that bad? Yoko questioned, pressing a finger to her lips. With a groan, Naruto tumbled back into the water. Yoko. Chan, you don't realize how much more than you know, Naruto uttered, anticipating a thrashing or yelling. The apartment of Rin. Rin had a typical apartment. After Naruto had the Hokage purchase the apartment, she and he painted the walls blue. A lover's seat was located next to the door, a long couch was located on the wall closest to the hallway, and Rin was seated in a tiny recliner. There were photos of her, Kakashi, the 4th, and an unidentified boy wearing goggles all over her living room. The picture that really stood out was the one where a blushing 7-year-old Naruto was kissed on both cheeks by a blushing 10-year-old Ayame and a blushing 14-year-old Shizune, with Rin laughing, Sasuke Sarutobi, Tsunade, and Tuchi in the background. She even had a few of her and Naruto at the park, ramen stand with Ayame, and at the Hokage Tower. Wearing a black tank top that barely covered her, a short white skirt, and slippers, Rin sat in the recliner. Her braided hair had come undone. She looked like a supermodel, if one had to guess. Seated in the love seat were Naruto and Yoko. Naruto was dressed in black long shorts and a red shirt. Yoko had a preference for hugger pants and a white tank top. Rin held up a soda and peered at the two. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do, Naruto. I've treated you like a child when you were younger, but that has stopped. We barely get together as it is now that you're a ninja. What am I doing? I feel like a mother talking to her son, said Rin as she set her beverage down. Naruto gave her a smile. You've been my big sister and like a mother to me for as long as I've known you, Rin. San. It's hard to find someone who could take your place in my heart, but you're right, I don't get to see you very often these days. Sundays are my day off usually. So how about we meet up and have a conversation then? Naruto asked, causing Rin to smile. Yes, but please refrain from having sex in the hot springs. When I take a bath, I prefer not to smell like I just had sex. I don't want to go looking for my girl in Anbu because it makes me horny like my bitch of a sister and niece, Rin grinned. No promises, I'm in the middle of my mating cycle right now, Yoko said, planting a kiss on Naruto's lap. Oh. Good luck, Naruto. You'll need it with a vixen as horny as she is. Feeling the heat herself, Rin exclaimed, I can smell it. Yeah, Naruto replied as he opened the door, and Kakashi was standing there, about to knock. Hi there, Naruto. I'm just stopping by to see Rin. Chan, Kakashi said, giving her a sidelong glance before casting a slightly envious glance at Yoko. You, Rin. San? Querying Yoko. Rin simply grinned and said, Yoko. Chan, don't worry. Why don't you and Yoko go out for a little while, Naruto? As Naruto took Yoko's hand and they walked out, Rin remarked, I knew Sakura, Sarah's, and Haku are shopping now, while Zabuza is training at the Jonin training grounds. As beautiful as ever, said Kakashi with a smile as Rin scowled, clearly aware of his game. Kakashi entered and shut the door. Kakashi, say what needs to be said and move on. Kakashi sat down and Rin said, I have to tend to a garden on the roof. As usual, straight to the point. That girl who was here a minute ago. Kakashi began. That was the Kyuubi. Who managed to break free from the seal that Sensei had placed on his son, Rin said, startling Kakashi. How were you aware of this? May I ask, Kakashi? She had the exact same scent in the air as the Kyuubi. After that, it was easy, Rin remarked as she picked up her soda. So why did you remain silent? Standing up, Kakashi spoke. I think she and Naruto make a cute couple, giggled Rin, shrugging. She seemed nice enough and there was no hate, anger, or malice in her actions. When the creature that killed Sensei is attempting to entice his son, how can you just sit here and laugh? As Rin stopped laughing and glared at Kakashi, an enraged Kakashi asked. This Sensei's son, that Sensei's son. He is not, and never has been, Sensei's son. I love Naruto Uzumaki like a little brother, and that's all he'll ever be to me, Rin said, getting to his feet. Healing Hands Rin was a formidable opponent even though she had not been a ninja for a dozen years. It was a strange moniker for someone who had taken over 300 lives with her hands, as even Kakashi knew better than to mess with her. However, Rin is who he is. He's Sensei's legacy, Kakashi remarked, only to be struck in the midsection and laid out on the ground by an uppercut to the jaw. Kami. I have no idea what I saw in you, Kakashi. We were never able to work out your prawn-loving asshole because of this. The world appears to you in gradations of gray, white, and black. Never return if you were unable to look past your own small-minded animosity toward Yoko. Rin picked up Kakashi and threw him out the door, saying. However, Kakashi began. Without a but. You are not allowed to enter this apartment building until you get your act together. When Rin saw Kakashi wince, she slammed the door in his face. If I catch you near here, I'm going to remove your manhood as well as your Sharingan with a rusty knife, Rin said. Why can't she just see things my way? Kakashi asked, sighed, getting to his feet. Kakashi uttered before vanishing. In the apartment of Naruto. Naruto pulled back for some air, and they were lying on his couch, Yoko on top and Naruto on bottom, in a full blown make-out session that had lasted for almost 3 hours since they had returned from Rin's apartment. I'll let the sex pass this time because you knew I'm not in full blown heat anymore, but you better have your plans for the evening sorted out the next time. Okay, Yoko. Naruto replied. Alright, now go out and enjoy yourself, Yoko said as she got up to head to her bedroom. Naruto trailed after her, observing her undress and her descent beneath the covers. Naruto remarked, what am I going to do? It's barely 7. Yoko curled into a ball and said, go to a shinobi club. Naruto sat on the bed and said, why don't I just stay here? Because I knew that if you don't have at least 4 Fianca copyright S by the time you hit 14 the council can step in and choose, also at least one of them has to be with child, Yoko said while staring at Naruto. How do you know all this? Naruto questioned, glancing at the woman. You knew I always liked reading minds. You can find many interesting things if you knew where to look, Yoko replied. With a sigh, Naruto turned to face her. He proceeded to his wardrobe and retrieved a button-up shirt, a hat, and a pair of blue jeans. He took out a pair of blue sunglasses as well. Well, I guess I'm off then, Naruto said, bending down to give her a gentle kiss. If you pick up any girls, make sure to take any fun to their house, replied Yoko. Naruto said, I'm not like that, Yoko-chan, as he left. After leaving the building, Naruto put the security seals in place so that only the residents and visitors could enter. After exploring for roughly 30 minutes, he came upon The Grind, a small club. As he approached the door, a man blocked his path. Club for shinobi only, the man declared. After 15 seconds, Naruto removed his headband and put it back in. You're doing well, the man muttered. As Naruto entered the club, he saw that it was a circular space with tables arranged around a sizable dance floor in the middle. With just 50 people, it was somewhat deserted. After moving to the farthest table, Naruto noticed 2 women seated there. The first one had long black hair, red eyes, rounded C-cup breasts, and well-defined legs. She was dressed in a red long-sleeve shirt that resembled a glove, black stockings, black open-toed heels, and a black miniskirt that ended at her upper thighs. Her knockout radar score was at least 10. Her friend was pushing at least 11A1/2 if she received a 10. She had D. Cup breasts, long purple hair pulled up, brown eyes, and a sultry grin on her face. She wore purple short shorts that looked really hot on her and long, high-heeled boots. She wore a black see-through slick shirt that let you see her nipples but not all of her assets. The purple-haired woman was staring at the red-eyed woman, grinding on her, and placing her hands on her breasts, which is what made this even hotter. Lowly, the red-eyed woman was moaning. The woman with the red eyes yelled, "Anko! Chan, stop! We don't know who's watching." The woman with purple hair squeezed her nipples, causing the shirt to groan. Anko smiled as she planted a kiss on Kurenai. "Who cares, Kurenai? Chan? Let them watch, because they can't touch and most of the assholes and bitches in here are piss drunk. I'm going to have my way with you here or at home," she said. Kurenai grabbed Anko's ass and said, "Alright, you win, you might even get me in the chains tonight." Naruto sat down in their booth and whistled. "That's hot," Naruto interrupted, stating, "Damn." Anko gave Naruto a sly grin. Anko apologized, "I'm only taking women tonight," and Kurenai grinned in response. As he called a waitress over, Naruto remarked, "That's a damn shame." The waitress wore a black skirt and black stockings with a black top. She had long brown hair and brown eyes. "Naruto-kun, I see you decided to take a little while off. Come by for a bowl of ramen at the stand," replied the child. Anko questioned, "You knew Ayame?" For over a year, she and Kurenai had been attempting to get into that girl's skirt. After grabbing a drink that Ayame had placed in front of him, Naruto slapped her, causing her to blush nicely. Naruto took a sip of his drink and said, "Of course I know Ayame. Chan. We've been friends for years. Hell, she's the one who taught me how to kiss a girl and go down on a girl at age 12. Anko reached over to Naruto and put his hand on his crotch before slipping under him. "Tell me more about Naru. 2, Anko said in a seductive tone. Kurenai ordered a large bottle of red wine over the phone to Ayame. Kurenai gave Ayame's swagger a sidelong glance as she began to move away. She unscrewed the cap and took a big gulp. She was unable to resist. Asuma had a smoking addiction, Kakashi was addicted to pornographic novels, and she had a thing for red wine, which was typically followed by lustful, passionate, and loving intercourse with Anko. As he got to know Anko and Kurenai, Naruto began to converse with them. He discovered that Kurenai adored romance novels featuring women who had male or female lovers, as well as genjutsu. Anko was somewhat unique. She loved blood, and she liked rabbits. As the evening went on, they were all soon exhausted or, in Naruto's case, a little buzzed. With a sly, "So handsome would we blow this place and head back to our place," Anko moaned as he moved behind Kurenai and grabbed her breasts. Naruto was taken aback. Even though she was speaking with a slight slur now, you could tell she was completely drunk from the way she moved. It was obvious to Naruto that the two women in front of him had turned him on, and only a fool would disagree. Fortunately, Naruto was not a fool. Before calling Ayame over, Naruto took out his wallet and threw some large bills on the table. Ayame approached with her usual sexiness. "Those are for the drinks, and this is your tip," Naruto said, snatching her by the waist and pressing her against his lips. Ayame was so engrossed in the kiss that she failed to notice Naruto had tucked a sizable wad of cash into her skirt. Ayame grinned at Naruto as he withdrew. It was an incredible tip. "I will have to give it back eventually," Ayame said, planting a kiss on Naruto's cheek and turning to leave. "Let's go, ladies," declared Naruto, encircling them with his arms and utilizing a portal to accelerate their arrival. Anko's, Kurenai's apartment outside. They were standing directly outside the door when the portal opened. Kurenai gave him a stunned glance. Reaching for his arm, she asked, "How did you do that?" Naruto bent over and gave her ear a lick. Naruto remarked, "Everyone has their tricks. But for now, it's all ours," Anko remarked, kissing his neck while Kurenai unlocked the door. After emerging from his vampire trance, Naruto turned to face the two women he had just had sex with. To make sure they weren't marked, he examined them both. He then picked Kurenai up and put her in the first bed he came across. He took Anko and put her in the same bed, then he got into bed with them and passed out. The following morning, Anko felt pretty good when she woke up. She was really good aside from a slight soreness between her legs. She smirked as she realized there were 2 people in her bed. Ayame. Chan was probably persuaded to come along, Anko thought to herself as she opened her eyes. Gazing over her shoulder, she noticed a man with a wild, multicolored hairstyle. Anko appeared momentarily horrified, but then memories of last night quickly returned to her. Recalling all of her orgasms, Anko shuddered. She was getting lustful just thinking about it. Kami, the sex with him was just out there, Anko thought to herself as Kurenai woke up. Kurenai fixed Anko with a look. "What Anko?" inquired a sore and sexually spent Kurenai, who was recalling the events of the previous night. "Let's wake up Naruto." "Kun," Anko said, kissing Kurenai first, then Naruto. When Kurenai got the notion, she began to caress Anko's breasts. Naruto wakes up and craves air. He opened his eyes and saw that Anko was kissing him. She released the kiss after giving it back. Naruto bent down to give Kurenai a kiss. After getting up, Naruto went to the living room, picked up his clothes, and put them on. Kurenai and Anko emerged with their hips swinging. Naruto grinned slyly at the 2 women. "Ladies, what a crazy night it was. We'll have to repeat it occasionally." Kurenai snatched up a piece of paper and a pen, writing their number on it. Naruto said. "Give us a call. It will be a proper date the next time," Kurenai declared. When Naruto said, "From sex to dating, you're a bit backwards, Cure." "Chan," Kurenai blushed. "Later, Foxy." "Chan," Anko said, planting another kiss on him. Kurenai gave Naruto one last kiss before heading out. Kurenai was pushed onto the couch by Anko, who then began to grind on her. "We both have the day off, and I'm still in the mood," Anko smirked at Kurenai. Thought Kurenai, "It's going to be a long day." In partnership with Naruto. While traveling home, Naruto heard Alucard in his thoughts. "Kid, you did a great job playing with those 2. When it came to bed, Integra was just like that Kurenai woman." "I have a few stories I could share with you," Alucard laughed. Naruto let out a moan. "Alucard, tell me not how you let Grandma Integra down, please." Cutting the connection, Naruto said to himself, "That's something I don't want haunting my mind at night." When Naruto arrived at his apartment, Rin was looking very angry. "Where have you been?" Rin inquired, making it obvious that he was not going to leave. "I was out at a Shinobi club," a perspiring Naruto answered. In Konoha, Shinobi clubs close at 1 in the morning. "Since you're the only person named Naruto in this entire damn village, I guess it was you," Rin said, grabbing Naruto by the shirt. "I also got a call from Anko about 10 minutes ago saying she just had great sex with Kurenai and a guy named Naruto." "Oh no, 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 oh no." Naruto thought, "Rin's going to kill me," as Rin undid his shirt and threw him into the street. Rin exclaimed, "Hellsing isn't wearing his shirt." All of his admirers appeared out of nowhere and began chasing him right away. Naruto thought, "Why me? Just the old Hellsing charm, curse," Alucard chuckled hysterically. Working Area 7. Team 7 was back together for training after their 2-week vacation had come to an end. Ayame helped Yoko land a job at the ramen stand in the midst of all that. Raisin would join the group known as the N. Corpsa Konohamaru, Udon, Hanabi, and Moegia at the academy. Misato was enrolled in a non-shinobi school because she didn't want to be a ninja. She was not a shinobi, but she could still give Hanabi a serious fight, and she hung out with the N. Crops. Right now, Team 7 was honing the jutsu they were familiar with. After they achieved a certain level of proficiency in the jutsu they already knew, Kakashi and Sarah's decided not to teach them anymore. The people they were actually observing were Sasuke and Naruto. In the past 2 weeks, Sasuke had overcome his rage and begun collaborating effectively with others. His favorite fire-style jutsu was the Phoenix Arrow, though he had some success with other new ones as well. Because it only went in one direction, despite having massive destructive power, it was classified as a high C ranked jutsu. Sakura, with whom he had also made peace, continued to watch him as though he might do something foolish. "Alright, Naruto. Kun, show us a combo you made," called Sarah's as she crossed her legs and sat in a tree. She blew him a kiss, and Naruto gave her a smug smile. While Kakashi and the others didn't mind that they were dating, some villagers were upset that Naruto was seeing his female sensei and felt that it wasn't right. They cared for each other, so they didn't give a damn. Naruto made a clone that was strengthened and charged at it. The clone was prepared, aware of its fate. Earth style. Great spikes jutsu, Naruto declared, hurling more than 30 spikes towards the clone. The clone cleared the path only to be apprehended from below. His gaze fell upon Naruto, who was grinning at him, and then, he popped like a balloon. Sasuke grinned. Although he had tweaked it and created a shuriken version of it without the exploding notes, Naruto still loved to use the exploding clone. Impressive work, Naruto. Distract your enemy with only about a third of your jutsu strength and then using an exploding clone that also used the headhunter jutsu without hand signs or verbal command. You're getting good, said Kakashi with a grin on his face. Naruto said, thanks, Kakashi. Sensei. Over the past few days, Kakashi had become more composed with Yoko. Though he was no longer overtly hostile, there was still a sense of dislike between them. It was ugly, as the council and Hokage had discovered. Retrospection. Naruto and Yoko took their places next to Heishi and Sume. The civilian council was agitating over the shinobi budget and attempting to arrange for Sasuke to marry into a respectable family. Yoko was done and let one of her tails and her ears stick out. When a civilian saw this, she cried out. Kyubi. He exclaimed. Yoko attempted to hide them as everyone turned to face her. Seems like the secret is revealed, Yoko waved to them. Danzo asked, how did you get out of my weapon? Make Danzo look bad by asking, none of your damn business. Did you just call me a weapon? Naruto said. Not the point, Danzo uttered. Yoko told him, like my mate said, none of your business, while displaying the Hellsing mark on her throat. Whatever the point is that we now have the most powerful demon free. We could conquer the elemental nations with ease now, Haruno replied. A civilian said, we could also make a whorehouse just for her so a lot of men could relieve themselves after a long mission, which made Yoko run for cover behind Naruto. Naruto. Kun, Yoko uttered terrified. That is enough. We haven't even let her say her peach and you fools are all ready to let the villagers have her. If anything happened to her I swear to God I'll level this village, Naruto said, causing many to gasp. Danzo began, okay, but the villagers will have to KN. But Naruto interrupted. The villagers don't have to know shit. If anyone outside the council learns of this I swear I'll take a match and burn this motherfucker down, stated Naruto. Heishi said in a quiet voice, very well, but we would like an account of why she attacked. The clans honor the Kyubi despite their defeat. After all, you don't fight a worthy opponent every day. Saying, thank you, Hyuga. San. Yoko took the floor to inform the council of what she had shared with Team 7. End of flashback. The majority of the council remained angry, but they withdrew their support knowing that Naruto would become enraged if they managed to convince her in any way. With a series of hand gestures, Kakashi said, okay, everyone gather around, we're about to teach you a B. Ranked Earth Jutsu. Earth and Fire Fusion Style, Raising Dragon Jutsu. A good 30 foot long dragon then rose from the earth and destroyed more than a few trees. Move, instructed Saras. They trained on that jutsu for the remainder of the day. In the apartment. Naruto was battered when he entered. He went to his bathroom, changed, and had a quick shower. Before putting on a green short-sleeve shirt, he wore gray tank top and blue jeans. Naruto entered his living room and took a seat. The doorbell rang just as he was about to turn on the TV. After getting up and opening the door, he saw Haku, who was dressed as a Chunin-level nin with green shoulders and a yellow med. Nin vest on. With the exception of her braided bangs that framed her face, the majority of her hair was styled normally. Underneath, she had on a hot pink and white shirt and black skin. Tight pants. With a smile on her face, Naruto said, hello Haku. Cha, taking off her headband and vest. Haku gave him a hug and smiled in return. Hello Naruto. Kun. Would you like to take a walk with me? Said Haku. Naruto picked up a pair of black shades and said, sure Haku. Chan, let me grab my glasses. With a light laugh, Haku turned to leave. In the park. Haku and Naruto strolled through the park, chatting and laughing. People thought they were a couple when they passed by them. Haku blushed every time Naruto smiled at her. They came to a stop by a lake and took a seat on a bench. Haku grinned and said, "This makes me think of my old house," recalling her father and mother. Naruto gave her a smile. "I'm happy you have fond memories of your time with them," Naruto said, giving her a gentle hug that made her blush. Asking, "Naruto-kun, do you have feelings for me?" Haku withdrew and took off his glasses to reveal a startled expression. "What?" exclaimed a visibly surprised Naruto. Though she blushed, Haku composed herself. "Do you have feelings for me? I knew we've only known each other for a short time, but I've come to care for you deeply. Almost like a lover. At first I thought it was a silly crush, but it's more than that. I like you," Haku said as he approached Naruto. Naruto got up just as Haku was about to plant a kiss on him. Naruto uttered, "Haku-chan, we can't." Haku glared at Naruto as he stood up. Haku questioned, "Why not, Naruto?" "Because I don't want the council to hurt you," Naruto said, squinting his eyes. Haku asked, freezing most of the air around her and a small portion of the lake. "What, you don't think I can't take care of myself?" "Haku, if the council finds out about your bloodline, they'll force you to be breeding stock. They will whore you out just to get one child out of you, and I won't let that happen to someone I care for," Naruto said with an angry voice. Haku yelled, "They won't find out even if I used it in front of them." Naruto gave her a scowl. Naruto yelled, "Damn, you're stubborn." "Whatever," exclaimed Haku as he turned to leave the forest. Naruto left the park by foot. "This is ideal for Danzo, Sama and Haruno." Sama, a man in an Anbu uniform, remarked, holding a blank mask bearing the word "Nei." In partnership with Naruto. There was Zabuza, Yoko, and Sarah's seated close to Naruto in his apartment. His hands were over his face. "I was a complete idiot. I know Haku likes me and I like her, but with the council already breathing down my neck about me not marrying Haruno and mating with not only Sarah's, but Yoko as well, I didn't want to get her caught up in all this shit," Naruto said as Zabuza took out a black candle and ignited it. "Kid, regardless of what you do, sooner or later the council will find out and then they'll be after her anyway." "At least with you she would be happy," replied Zabuza. "You're probably right, but aside from what I did with Anko-chan and Kurenai-chan a week ago, I have Sarah's and Yoko to worry about." Naruto-kun, we know that you'd only chose the best mates, so we don't hold it against you, Yoko said as she and Sarah's gave Naruto a hug. "You need to find and set Haku-chan straight," Yoko added. "I concur. Welcome her. Let her be one of your love partners," Sarah's uttered. "You're right," Naruto said, "I have to go find her and apologize." As Naruto hurried out the door to look for Haku, Zabuza said, "Listen kid, I respect you and also you have my approval, but don't let it get to your head that I won't kick your ass if you make Haku cry again." In the woodland, Haku sat under a tree and sobbed. She really did like Naruto, but they both let their emotions and tempers get in the way. She knew that he was merely trying to protect her from becoming a political tool, but it still infuriated her, and maybe they would have to have a real conversation. Afterwards, Haku got up and jumped into a tree while an Anbu member descended. Saying, "I missed," he spoke. Though Haku was still fine with taijutsu, none of them were close to Anbu level, and she had left her weapons back at Naruto's place. She became concerned. As someone leapt in front of Haku, the man brandished his katana and readied himself for attack. "Naruto-kun." Haku expressed his surprise. "Haku will speak next." The man charged at Naruto and swung his sword at his face. Naruto rolled his body out of the way and blocked the attack with Joshua. Naruto pulled back and fired a shot off. The man cut it in two. "Let me deal with this trash first," said Naruto, drawing Joshua. Naruto jumped back to avoid being slashed in the stomach and exclaimed, "You have got to be shitting me. It's time to pull a trick out of Sasuke's trick book." "Fire style. Phoenix flower jutsu," Naruto declared, hurling several balls in the direction of the man. Naruto had set up an exploding trap square where the man landed, and all he had to do was say the trigger word to escape the situation. "Who forwarded you?" "It's better not to lie because I can tell," a snarling Naruto uttered. "The Council of Civilians." Following their discovery that the Kyuubi were free, they ordered the Nei to keep an eye on everyone they knew for any significant information. "We were to capture it if it would benefit them," the man declared. "Stupid person. For what reason did they place that order?" queried Naruto. The man with the speck of code said, "Watchers are tasked to do not and ask their masters why." Sayonara, Naruto uttered as the tags went up, killing the man whose mask landed in front of him. But the ones who order the Watchers have an agenda of their own that leaves the Watchers dead, Naruto said, replaying to the code. Haku. Chan, let's go, Naruto said as he turned to face Haku. Haku said, alright, Naruto. Kun, as they started to move away. Naruto thought to himself, I knew Root was on the move, and this proves it right here, as he held the mask. After a month. Naruto grinned as he watched Sakura run into an ally and start laughing, followed by Raisin, Misato, Konohamaru, Moegi, Udon, and Hanabi. All of them had one thing in common, they wore custom coats with the words N. Crops on the left beast pocket, right sleeve, and nice blue N on the back. All of the kids went to the academy, with the exception of Misato, who continued to hang out with the N. Crops as an honorary member. Aside from that, Naruto and Haku had reconciled and were regarded as the quietest couple of all the ones Naruto was involved in. They hadn't had sex yet, but that made sense since they were still a little sour toward one another. Naruto grinned and said, okay, you guys, we'll play one more game and then we'll take you training. The children all grinned and chanted, hi Naruto. Ni. Chan, simultaneously. Okay, let's give you 10 counts to run, and then we'll chase after you, Naruto grinned and began, 1, 2, 3, 4. After the kids ran off and turned a corner, Naruto and Sakura heard a scream and ran to the ally, where they found Raisin and Konohamaru being held up by a man wearing a catsuit and carrying a large wrapped package on his back. Next to him was a girl who looked like she was 15 years old, had blonde hair and green eyes, was dressed in a purple battle kimono, and had a large fan on her back. Kankuro defeated them. Cried the girl. Tamari, after I teach them some respect, Kankuro uttered. I apologize, but there seems to be a misunderstanding. As I was playing with them, I asked them to run, Naruto grinned, wanting to put a stop to this before anyone was harmed. I will take care of you right away, the boy replied. You don't seem to want to fight with me. Naruto drew his sword and said, after all, I'm a bad boy. The boy then set Raisin and Konohamaru down and ran over to Sakura. Tamari leaned against the wall and said, just to be clear, I'm not in this. The voice said, oh goody, a fight, coming from the fence where a girl, about 13 or 14, sat. She had long, silver hair with green highlights, was about 5 feet 4 inches tall, had sharp purple eyes, toned breasts, and was dressed in a strapless blue top that hugged her figure, revealing fishnet armor up to her arms, tight white pants, blue high-heel boots, a white bandana, and her headband strapped to a belt she wore. A chilly voice questioned, who the hell are you? From a tree. Everyone turned to see a red-haired, teal, green-eyed boy with a tattoo on his face, brown sandals, sand-colored pants, and a gourd strapped to his back. He appeared to have not slept in months. A girl said, looks like we found a party. And there are a lot of fine honeys in this joint. Too many suckers here though, said a man. Everyone turned around once more to observe the newcomers. The first one was a girl about Sakura's height, with brown eyes, long blonde hair that fell to her ass and was pulled into a ponytail, and toned features with C-cup assets. She was dressed in a purple shirt with black sleeves, tight black pants, gloves with tape around her hands, and a headband resting just under her bangs on her forehead. The other individual looked strange. He exuded pride without being conceited. Standing at an impressive height of 6 feet 7, he had dark brown skin, heavy muscles, and a strange triangular tattoo on his left cheek. He also had blonde hair pulled into rows, a goatee, and a white scarf that fell closer to his back. White armor with red outlines was strapped around one shoulder, and black pants with an X pattern near the bottom left were held up by a white rope belt. White arm and leg guards with 3 red groves in them, black sandals, a white headband, and 4 swords rested on his back. Everyone was staring at each other. Even Sasuke and Kiba, who were resting in a tree, realized that the problems were beyond their capabilities. The newly introduced individuals all seemed wired. Kankuro, Tamari, Sakura, and the kids retreated. Will any of you punks begin spitting out your thoughts? Questioned the large man. Homeground, so I suppose I'll speak first. Hello, Naruto Uzumaki Hellsing, uttered Naruto, casting glances at everyone present. I'm Runa, just plain Runa, the silver-haired girl uttered. The name's Gara of the Sand, declared the red haired boy. Yugito ni, the blonde girl uttered. Kurabi is the name, let me rap in my game, declared the man in white. Remain a ninja, Naruto commanded. Slick, what do you say? Don't enter my square thinking you can approach me, playa, Kurabi commanded, brandishing two of his swords, each measuring at least 3 feet in length and resembling hook swords. Come on, let's go, Naruto charged at the man. They clashed as Kurabi charged back. Something struck the dirt protruding from their crotch and they skidded, patted each other, and turned. Kurabi grinned, and Naruto had a grumpy expression. Sakura. Nay. Chan, what happened? Misato inquired, her expression worried. Sakura exclaimed, that man broke Naruto. Kun's sword with one hit, astonished by someone with that much strength. No way is Naruto. Ni. Chan unbeatable, Raisin shook Sakura's jacket. Sakura nibbled her lip a little. Raisin, if only that were real. If only that were real. You deserve that, sucker, for talking shit to AG like me. You're interacting with a real man, dude. You idiot, that broken piece of garbage you got, cannot defeat me. Hachibi no Ushi. Oni, one, himself used the horn to make these swords, declared Kurabi, brandishing the swords in front of him. You could see Naruto's fangs sticking out and retracting as he glared at his sword and was barely able to control his rage. You bastard. Integra, my mother's ancestor, owned this sword. Naruto, who was drawing Joshua and a jackal with the jackal perched atop Joshua, said, I'm going to kill you with the weapons of my ancestral father, and I'm going to make it as painful as I can. Let's go, sucker, Kurabi said, smiling as he assumed a stance with one sword over his head and the other turned backward. Naruto scared the living hell out of everyone, save for Kurabi, Runa, and Gaara, by putting Joshua in his mouth and using his extended fangs to cock it back. Naruto charged at Kurabi, intending to do more than just hurt him, saying, let's play. When both men arrived at the middle simultaneously, they engaged in combat once more, but this time Naruto's weapons held firm. He released the other deathlock and lunged towards Kurabi, who parried and slashed at him, only for Naruto to jump out of the way and kick Kurabi in the face. Both men reached the middle at the same time. Naruto slid under it and fired 2 rounds, which Kurabi blocked with one of his swords. Kurabi turned to swipe at Naruto, but Naruto blocked it with a jackal, causing both of them to jump back, panting a little. Thinking, this guy moves as fast as I do, Naruto. It's unbelievable, nobody moves like me, Kurabi mused to herself. Kurabi charged first but withdrew his left sword, giving Naruto time to fire 3 blocked shots before they locked again, moving enough that Naruto was able to miss them both as they began to lick the chakra, but it was Naruto who was licking the red and black chakra that made everyone shudder. It's enough. As he threw the fighting shinobi back with his sand, Gaara yelled. Runa caught Naruto, and Yugito caught Kurabi. Both Naruto and Kurabi glared at each other, but all you could tell was that their teeth were showing. Yeah you guys, this is really bad, Runa exclaimed, holding back Naruto with all of her strength. In addition, you're frightening the kids, Yugito said. Runa let him go and Naruto knelt down next to the children, looking at them and looking out of control.
Sorry guys.
Naruto said, I didn't want you to see that. It's okay Naruto. Ni. Chan, we forgive you, Misato comforted Naruto as she gave him a hug. Concerned, Hanabi said, but no more fighting like that okay? I swear, Hanabi. Chan, don't worry. Sakura leads them to a practice area. I must speak with them. Sasuke Kiba go, Naruto said in a firm tone. Sakura nodded and hurried away, trailed by Kiba and Sasuke. Why are you here? Why have you come here when Cloud is fine, Sand is an ally, and Rock is still mad at us? Still glaring at Kurabi, Naruto asked. 1 week from now is the Chunin exams. As the other hosts left, Kurabi said, I hope to see you there, Naruto Uzumaki Hellsing, for you will be singing in hell. All of the hosts, with the exception of Naruto, had one thought in mind. I was warned about that kid by my demon. Although he possessed remnants of Kyuubi's strength, why did it alert me to something far deadlier and more sinister? They all believed. At the entrance gate. Watch duty was easy money, but it was boring work. Zabuza was about to leave when he felt 2 cage-level chakras enter the gate and grab his sword. It was Jiraiya and Tsunade, 2 of the legendary Sannin, along with a woman who looked to be in her early 20s and was carrying a pig. She was probably as tall as that Anko chick he met, with short black hair and black eyes, a figure that could give Haku's fanboys nosebleeds and CC. Cup breasts. Her black kimono and visible fishnet shirt were also there. Yo, Zabuza exclaimed. Not right now, idiot. Where's my Naru? Chan? May I ask Shizune? Haku said, I can take you to his home, while Shizune was staring at her. Shizune grabbed Tsunade's hand and said, please do, as they followed Haku. Oh my god. That means there are 4 girls and 3 potential girls on the way, Zabuza said. That just came out yesterday. Jiraiya smirked as he tossed Zabuza an autographed copy of Ichich Paradise, Foxy Master. Damn, I knew my godson was a man just like his mother wanted him to be, Jiraiya said as Zabuza bowed to him along with other men. All 3 of the men said, we are not worthy. At the exercise facility, Misato was sitting on Sakura's lap, and the children were lined up. Alright, I know you guys appreciate your hot stuff, but you're not right. I'm going to teach you a jutsu that will help you get away from someone like that because you saw my fight with that guy Karabi and you saw that we were on equal footing, declared Naruto, but Raisin raised his hand in response. Raisin nodded to others and said, if we fight someone like that and we're on a team we can win with a well-made plan. There are moments when sheer force of numbers results in more deaths than necessary. Are you following? Clearly indicating that this was no jest, Naruto asked. Yes, sir, Raisin replied. Good, this jutsu can be used under 3 different circumstances. 1 for practice, 2 for evading or immobilizing an adversary so you can escape or gather information, and a 3rd for when someone you care about is in danger. Watch. I'll give you an example with that cat. As the cat froze in place, Naruto walked over to pick it up and said, what do you know, Tora? Oblivion style. World freeze. Naruto said, I'll just put you in a cage, and he did just that. Moegi exclaimed, Naruto. Ni. Chan, that was amazing. Indeed, it was cool, Udon remarked. Moegi. Chan Udon. Kun, thank you. It locks on to the person you are locking it onto and freezes them for a maximum of 10 hours. Naruto stated, if their chakra is higher than yours, they might be able to break it in roughly 5 minutes, so if you have to, haul ass. Have you got any other Oblivion jutsu, Nagato? Ni. Chan? As the others nodded, Konohamaru questioned. I will only caution you once. Never attempt the Oblivion style without me or someone I know nearby, sighed Naruto. There's a reason the Oblivion style bears that name. Although it has great power, Naruto explained that it has a single purpose. And just what is that? Afraid of the response, Hanabi asked. The downfall of an army. I'm only teaching you support jutsu that is rated a low C, but you never attempt to use anything more advanced, right? Questioned Naruto. Yes, Naru, Ni. Chan, Moegi replied. Good, Naruto said with a smile and a head pat. Shadow copy. Go to work, Naruto commanded, handing a clone to each child. Naruto. Kun, you're so nice to them. One day, you'll become a fantastic father, Sakura remarked. Thank you, Sakura. Chan, uttered Naruto, glancing down to see a dejected Misato. Kneeling down in front of her, Naruto questioned, something wrong, Misato? Chan? No, sir, Misato stated, peering down. Naruto grinned and said, hey, now that's no way for a princess to act. Misato asked in confusion, princess? That's right, and what would a princess be without her necklace? Naruto exclaimed, taking out a silver necklace adorned with a purple gem heart. Around her neck, Naruto wrapped it. Thank you too. San. I love you, Misato said, giving Naruto a peck on the cheek and a hug that caused Naruto's eyes to widen. Shocked, Naruto asked, what did you just call me, Misato? Chan? Misato looked down, flushed. Misato asked, are you mad at me? You've treated me so well and you're kind to me and Raisin. Ni. I see you as more of a father than a brother. Naruto responded with an embrace. Naruto said, no, I'm not angry. It would be an honor to be your two. San, a few tears welling up in his eyes. With another hug, Misato said, thank you, too. San and Naruto responded. Picking her up and placing her on his shoulders, Naruto said, hey, how about we go get something to eat? After leaving the training area, Naruto and Misato strolled through the village, making their way to the dango store. After witnessing Naruto's behavior with Misato, a lot of women developed an intense desire for him. Every woman adored a man who had the same kind of relationship and affection for kids as Misato did for Naruto. After entering the store, Naruto and Misato sat at a table. "Hello, young one and Hellsing. Sama, what can I get you?" the man inquired. Misato declared, "I'll have 3 orders of dango." Naruto said, "Just a small order," as the man turned to leave. Following their orders, they conversed and ate like any other father and daughter. They moved in the direction of the apartment after they were done. Just as they were ready to enter, Naruto pulled Misato aside to clear the path to his front door. A man flew out the door, shattering it in 2, and a woman yelled, "Jiraiya, you fucking pervert." Naruto recognized the voice, Tsunade. Sama, that was uncalled for, from another person. Naruto entered and exclaimed, "What the hell did that pervert do?" "He ogled me and Sarah's while we were sitting on the couch," Yoko replied. "He saw me in a towel," Haku, who had just left work an hour earlier, said with a flush. Naruto said, "I'll kick arrow. Himes, too, ass later. Hello Shizune. Chan, it's been a while," as he was put down and given a kiss. "Don't call me that," exclaimed Jiraiya as she and the other women, save Shizune, who was occupied, entered the room and laughed at him. Yoko turned to face Sarah's. "I like her," a smiling Yoko remarked. "I agree with that," a smirking Sarah's said. Misato exclaimed, "Ew. Too. San is kissing someone," drawing strange looks from all the female attendees. Naruto said, "Tell you later," as he backed away from Shizune. As Naruto sat in a chair and detailed everything that had happened since he last saw Sakura. Chan and himself, Shizune inquired, "So Naruto Kun, how have you and Sakura Chan been?" Tsunade let out a sigh. Tsunade said, "Can't say I'm surprised. Let's go out to the ramen stand and east," as Naruto took Misato in his arms and they left. In the ramen apparatus, Asuma with his team Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji, and Kurenai with her team Sai, Shino, and Hinata, were all present when Naruto and the others approached. Kakashi was seated close to the bar, and Sakura, Kiba, and Sasuke were also there with the N. Crops. Rin sat next to an arrogant Asuma. When everyone turned to face Naruto, he said, "Hey everyone." With a flush, Hinata turned to face the god in front of her. She had a few ideas going through her head. Ino gave Sakura a nervous glance. From their last time in the same room, she was still a little excited. Kakashi had a question that had been on his mind as they were all seated. Rin grinned as Kakashi asked, "Rin Chan, how long have you lived in Naruto's apartment complex?" "I moved in 2 years before that prick died, and ever since then I've been there, too," Rin laughed. "I got the feeling that she had something to do with the death of the last owner, but Embu closed the investigation," believed Kakashi. Yoko, sipping her tea, said, "Okay, but why did you jump on Naruto Kun like that, Shizune San?" At this, Shizune flushed. Asuma, Zabuza, Kakashi, Jiraiya, and Kiba all gave Naruto a cold one while Shizune blushed, saying, "You see, the first time we found Naruto he called me an angel. Of course living on the road without any girls will do things to a girl, so one day Naruto saw me doing things that I won't say for the kid sake," Shizune said. Tsunade smirked and said, "The girl had it bad," sipping her sake. They carried on in this manner for almost an hour. Sakura, Haku, and Hinata had enrolled in Tsunade's class during the hour, and it was Naruto who persuaded Jiraiya to train him afterwards before everyone departed to tend to an urgent matter. The apartment of Rin. Rin was about to turn in for the night after emerging from the hot springs when there was a knock on her door. Rising to her feet, she put on an oversized shirt that hung loosely over one shoulder. She was met by an Anbu woman as soon as she opened the door. Rin said, "Hey Yugo, what are you doing here?" "Sorry, it's not out playtime, Hokage. Sama would like to see you as well as Tsunade and Shizune," Yugo replied. That evening later, Naruto and Yoko entered a forest, where Yoko appeared perplexed. When they arrived at a clearing, Naruto used Alucard's soul and chakra to create a shadow clone. After changing into Alucard, the clone turned to face Naruto. Alucard questioned, "Why drag us out here, Naruto? We need to talk." "Yoko, please put up a barrier so no one will find us, hear us, or feel our power," Naruto said. "Okay, Fox style. Barrier of Illusions Jutsu," Yoko uttered as the air briefly shimmered before ceasing. Now it's over. You were blocked, so you have no idea what I'm about to ask, but it's something like this. I have already spoken to Takashi, and he will comply with my request, Naruto said, outlining his strategy for them. Are you sure you were never a fox in a past life, because that plan is very fox? Like, said Yoko with a smirk. Alucard was giggling a little. I agree with her, but I would do the exact same thing in your shoes, kid, Alucard replied. 3 slips of paper appeared. Alucard began to release his vampire dark chakra. Yoko began to release her entire demon chakra. And Naruto extended his fangs and flailed his normal blue chakra. I hope that bastard Karabi is ready for the rematch, because I'm going to bring him down hard, Naruto replied. A week later, at the academy. Sasuke stood at the gate with his arms folded and his eyes closed, Sakura sat on the wall, and Kiba was petting Akamaru on one knee. Kiba inquired, where is your brother Sakura? While Akamaru growled. No clue. Said he needed to get something from the Triple T weapon shop, Sakura replied. Sakura said that, and then Naruto materialized in front of them, kneeling. He smiled at them and got up. Naruto apologized to Sasuke, Kiba, Akamaru, and Sakura. Shan for being late. I had to pick something up from Takashi. San, he said in a way that made them want to steer clear of the conversation. Kiba said, let's go take this exam. Kiba and Sasuke pushed open the doors and entered. With a smile, Sakura and Naruto declared, Team Chaos has arrived for battle. Watch out, Chunin exams.
So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more awesome stories like this. Thank you. See you all in my next video.